It's everybody. Welcome to another week. Fuck, these weeks go quick. Fourever Rivals. Do you believe this is episode, what is it? 68, 67, six something. It's in the 60s anyway. I can't remember, but it's right up there, guys. 60 something episodes. Well done. How is everyone going? Let's start with Marco before he disappears and he buffers away. How are we, Marco? Oh, he's frozen again. I can't believe it.
Surely not. No way.
There he is. How are you, Mark?
Oh, mate.
We were just perfect a second. How are you, Mark? He's buffering again. All right, we'll go with the rest. We'll get back to him. No, he's actually somewhere else. Can you hear us, Mark? He can't hear us. How can that be? All right, Liam, how are you, mate?
Mate, we're doing good, mate. We're in a good mood again. You know, we had the Easter break. We had some wins in the football. It's a little bit chilly. You know, it's starting to get cloudy over here.
What's chilly for Western Australia? 38 degrees?
Mate, it's under 20, mate. Under 20 degrees, mate. It's like cold wave. Is that a thing? I don't know. That's what it is, mate.
We're actually having some beautiful days down here. Some beautiful days. And tomorrow's going to be about 28.
Jeez.
Nights are cool, so it's all good. What about you, Magpie Manny? How are you going?
Oh, good evening to everyone. Yeah, no, I'm happy to be here, Rocco. Liam, Marco, like usual, your team is deteriorating. You seem to be deteriorating with this thing that you've got going on at the moment with your website. We can't hear you. Anyway, it's
Marco,
fantastic.
can you hear us
Rocco,
now?
It's a good time.
He can't hear us.
To be,
we'll just keep him on the back.
Turn it off, mate.
Yeah,
you guys still top of that?
I would love to be. You know what? I would love to be like Manny, just a plastic supporter, doesn't go to the game, jumps on every bandwagon he can find. He's just the best, mate. Then we got Marco up the top there. He looks like a frozen statue. Doesn't know what is going on here. Anyway, let's say hi. First of all, we've got Gunner. Gunners has been here since the start. He wants your number because apparently, what did you say? Arsenal knocked out Madrid. You told me to come and see you after you played them in the second leg. What happened, mate?
You know what? Well done to the Gunners, mate. They did what they had to do. Amazing. I think this is probably the first time they've gotten this far. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the furthest they've gotten in the Champions League. So, good luck to them. Good luck to them,
Seba's in he's gone. Seba's in the Rocco, mate. So he's in there, so he can tell you more about He can tell you more about Arsenal. Let's go. Let's say hi to we've got Valentino. Always. I've got something. All right, 4 happy rivals tonight. Doesn't happen often. It's true. I think Liam was the only one that had belief in the Tigers. No, we have belief in Carlton. So Enzo, and then we got Peter, of course, Blue Bagger, Fourever winners. That's fucking very good of player words there. I like this. And then we got Liam Romeo, WWE Carlton. How are you guys? He comes on every week. We got Rocco Model all the way next to you. How are you, mate? Lou, Paulino. Hello, everyone. And we got who else we got here? We got Jay. Hey, it's Wednesday. I like that. Remember, hey, it's Saturday. Now it's hey, it's Wednesday, mate. It's Wednesday. I like that. That's fucking. And then, of course, we've got, hey, it's Manny, the bloke that bullied Scotty. Actually, I've heard something. I've heard something about that, and we're going to talk about that a bit later. I'm serious too, Manny. I forgot to tell you. I'll tell you off air, but there's something happening. Rocco, I hope your stream doesn't stuff up. I know, man. Last night, For some reason, the last hour just started buffering, so we do apologise. We're going to see if it's on our end, but mate, we were excellent streaming. Everything was up in the excellent mode. There was nothing going wrong on our end, so I don't know. They're straight onto you, mate. You better scrub up your facts before talking, Manny. So he knows that
I did say I wasn't sure, but I just found out in 06 they played against Barcelona.
There you go. He can't fuck around with Seba. He knows he's especially Arsenal and Carlton. We got Michelle. How are you, Michelle? And Galicchio. What do we got? Rocco Bonacera, Manny, wake up, fire up. Oh, I'm going to fire him up. And we got a Jeffrey. Hi from Jeff. Love the show. A Butty. How would you pronounce that? I'm not good at pronouncing names. How would you pronounce that? The Butty Jig?
Could be Booty Jig. Booty Jig. Jeffrey Booty Jig.
Hey, we got him back!
See the ball.
So what do you got? You better? All right. Now, at least you actually look pretty good now. So, how are you, Mark?
I'm all right, fellas, mate. I really don't know what's going to go on tonight, mate. To be quite honest, man, I'm fucking over this bullshit internet crap, and it's doing my head in.
You look all right now, so just keep it like that. You don't tell me you're frozen again. He's going to be stuffed all night. We got black and white. I'll be on a bit later, lads. We expect you to come on. Just putting the gremlins to bed, mate. Yeah, good luck. Oz, thank you. And we got one of our, this is OG of the Jumper Punch channel, Rat Poison, Footy Judge. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove this one. Now what? All right, we're going to just keep trying with you. I don't know what's going on. Oh, look at this. We've got no regrets. Don't forget it, lads. I said last week, you did say that they'll win by 40 points. Well done, no regrets.
Fair play.
Yeah. That's true.
He calls it.
Welcome to No Regrets. So how are you, Mark? How's things, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Just slowly getting there, mate, but not 100% at the moment with this bullshit internet connections. But hopefully you boys can still hear me and the viewers can still put up my shit for the rest of the night. But we'll see how we go.
Well, you owe the Jumper Punch community $875 for giving the birdie, Mark.
That is true, Mark.
Now, I just want to say, like just last week, you were saying that, come on, we're professionals. You can't give the bird. You're professional football players. You are, even though I'd say you're not a professional YouTuber because you're frozen up again and you're giving everyone the bird, mate. How hypocritical is that? Nah, he's gone, man. I don't know what's going on. That's real weird because to tell you the truth, Mark is doing it from his office. So I don't know what's going on now. But here we go. All right, you know what? That's it. Get down to cordon security doors and blinds because they block out the internet too. That's how good they are.
Yeah, good chat. I like that. Boom. Back in the box, man.
I like that.
We'll get Seba on a bit later too. Well, here we go. Isabella. I'm sure that's not Isabella on the photo, but have you spoken about Noah Balta? We will in a second. We will.
Very, very warm good evening to you, Isabella.
Oh, hang on, mate.
I reckon Isabella is fucking. I reckon it's Izal from bloody Nigeria.
Are you saying Isabella might be a fella?
Right. Don't know. Yeah, Gunner says, can we get Isabella on the stream tonight? Oh, boy.
I think we should get her on the stream tonight. We might do some streaming. That sounds good. Let's hear from Isabella later on.
You're always going to be the favourite, Matula. Always going to be our favourite. But
Manny's got the wrist going tonight,
nice to be important, but it's important to be nice.
Take it easy, Manny. Take it easy, Manny. It's our favourite Greek. Greek.
Χρόνια πολλά, Christos Anesti.
There you go. I don't know what that means, but here we go. Yeah. We'll keep trying. We'll keep on trying. What we were saying, Mark, can you hear us, Mark?
I can hear you now, guys. Yep.
All right. What we were saying, you owe the chat $875 for giving the birdie, Mark. Last week you complained how hard that footy players shouldn't give the bird. You're more professional, bada bing, bada boom. And what's the first thing you did? And you are a professional YouTuber and you gave the bird.
Nice.
That is hypocritical. Typical lesson, mate.
Yeah, you should buy a ticket for me to come to Melbourne, mate. That's fair.
There you go.
What's
this? Keep it going, Manny. You Lavendi. What does that mean?
Lavendi. It's like saying you're legend.
Fuck off, legend. Between you two, black and white, and you legends.
Hey,
Legends
you
in
asked
your
the
own
question,
mind.
Senor, you asked the question, I'll give you the answer.
We didn't ask the question. I asked the question, what does it mean? Now I'm stating the facts that it's a load of absolute rubbish. You know what? Fourever footy, this is what we're about. All this banter and shit. Like, really, I'm sick of bantering with you guys because you're like my little puppy dogs. I play around with you and then boot you all. That's what you are to me. But we have got some serious issues. That's what they come here. They don't come here to listen to this. You know what they're coming here for? They're coming here for this, first of all. Let's have a look at this. We have become action figures. All right, so we got the Rocco there. All right, everybody, welcome to Rocco's rant. Then we got Mucket Guts there, the budge, and then we got the Richmond rebuild. Look at Liam, mate. Look at Liam. He's looking like a tough man. Free Balta. Hey, you got the Sam Laylor. You got the replacement mullet there. And then you got Marco vibes, eh? You got the Marco vibe, fun at all parties, still contending, delusional Essendon supporter. Hey, hit the word on the nail. And then you got the Collingwood fan. Look at this typical, the chips. He's got the pretend tattoos. He got the scarf. Hey, you wish, cuz. You wish.
I've been absolutely stitched up here. That is terrible.
No, mate, that I reckon once you stand up, that looks exactly like you, mate. I don't want to be saying it. I reckon that looks exactly. Check him out. That is you, mate. Sorry to say.
Come on. Shredded, mate.
The Liam doll with the beer gut. Don't worry, mate. A few more years, mate, you'll be looking exactly. Oh, look at that. Rocco is the best. Looks exactly. It does actually look. Look at that. The way they did that. That looks absolutely unreal, man. Like, so that's the Enzo Valentino. He made them up for us. So Enzo, and actually Enzo made the Rocco. We got and then we got Peter Bluebagger. He made the other three the other week. So well done, thanks, man. Because they look, man, I'll tell you, I'm stoked with them. They look superb, mate. I reckon we should get some real dolls like that. What do you reckon?
You've stitched me up, and we're not friends anymore. Right.
Thanks to Oz for gifting a TJP membership. You're a star, Oz. We might talk to you later. No, I'm looking for it. No, I've got the magnifying. I was just checking out if I could see a brain in that head of yours, mate. The magnifying guard to see if there was any sense in your brain, mate. And I still can't find it. You know what? I might have a bit of a look now at your comment. Yep. Full of shit. I can see the shit through the magnifying glass, brother. Don't worry, mate. All right, let's get into some action here. The first one I want to talk about is Noah Balta avoids jail time but handed conviction and night curfew. Here we go. We got him back. Here's Marco. We're straight into a Marco. Noah Balta avoids jail time but handed conviction and night curfew. I find that very, very interesting. What's your thoughts on this? I'm going to start off with Liam.
All right. Yeah, look, obviously, I've done a fair bit on it. Again, like I said, without being a legal expert, I would have to say he probably got off pretty late from my knowledge on these things. But then again, I don't know, maybe because he's a footballer, they're like, oh, we'll be nicer. But the big thing, obviously, that's going to affect the club and him is the 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew. Meaning this week, he was straight in, he's straight out. And I think I put it in the chat yesterday. The club's basically shot ourselves in the foot. We never should have played him last week. And now we're going to stand by him again, even though he's going to be in and out for the next few weeks. I was just having a look at the fixtures before. Doesn't play this week, then he gets a good run, but then he's got 2 games in a row where it's a night game. And then there's interstate. You can't travel interstate, so he misses 2 games in a row. I think the club is absolutely stuffed up by playing him because now we're in a position where he's going to come out of a team. We've named Campbell Gray as a debutant. We'll speak about that later, which is really exciting. But yeah, he's going to come in, get a game this week. But then if Balta comes back next week, what happens to him? I mean, Trainer got bumped to the sub this week. That's really bad. So from that perspective, yeah, it's really annoying. And, even the club coming out today, I think they had a statement yesterday as well. I wasn't a fan of it. They're kind of like, yeah, look, he's got his punishment and, he feels pretty bad about it. I was like, yeah, but why are we still supporting this person? It's not good. Yeah, I don't think the punishment was harsh enough. I think it's going to cause a lot more complications and problems for the club moving forward. Yeah, I'm really not happy with it, guys. I don't know. Not happy.
Yep, night curfew, exactly right. So he can't play night games. He's got to be in by 10 o'clock. So he won't be able to play any night games. It was
he's already been named out for tomorrow. He's not playing.
He can't, yeah. So and it's really interesting because the judge apparently said, I think they tried to say about him playing night games, so extend the curfew and that, and the judge said, no, I don't care. Nope. Curfew ends at 10 o'clock, man. So but the thing is, what I'm interested about. What's he saying? Double bloody standard because he's a footballer. It could be.
Honestly, I think he's right. He's hit the word on the nail or whatever the saying is. So, I think
the nail on the word.
But no, Jai is right. That's right. I think, yeah, if I went out and did something like that, I don't think I'd be getting off as light as he did. And again, we're not legal experts here. I can't say too much, but yeah, I think.
Who knows? I mean, these days, mate, I'm telling you, kids are doing all sorts of stuff and getting away with everything these days. They don't care. But what's interesting is what I'm interested in is, so should he have played last week? That's what I'm interested in. Everyone's thoughts, right? I'll give you my opinion. I originally said that the AFL and the club should have given him more weeks and said, we're going to see what the outcome is, and then we'll see about you playing. Take a stance. That would have been my stance. But since the AFL gave him only 4 weeks and he paid his dues, right, I was happy for him to play. He paid his dues. AFL only gave him 4 weeks. Richmond gave him their penalty. He was eligible to play him. And you wouldn't have won without him just quietly, probably, because he played a ripper game. Right? So everyone that's saying, no, AFL should have given him more weeks. They didn't. They didn't give him more weeks. He should have. He was eligible to play the whole time. Now he's going to be stuffed. So he's going to play the day games, and then he'll be out for the night ones. What do you reckon, Manny?
No, I agree with you, Rocco. It's a case that that's what's happened, and that's what they've done. But I wouldn't be surprised if there has been talks behind the scenes, because we know that how powerful the AFL can be. I'm not saying that they may have gotten involved with the law. I'm not saying they may have gotten involved with judges, etc. But they probably may have put a case forward to the judge and would have said, or to the magistrate, and would have said, you know what. We feel that, we're quite capable as a club to maybe take on board the consequences, and then perhaps even help him, support him, You know, at the end of the day, they are footballers. They are under a lot of pressure. Sometimes they do stupid things. Sometimes it does get to their brain. They think that they're untouchable. And I think this is probably a good lesson for a lot of footy players out there that, you can't get away with certain things. Now, I know you're saying, Liam, that he's sort of gotten away with it, but the fact that he won't be able to play, the fact that he'll be, under the spotlight for what he did, I think that's going to be more than enough punishment. And it's up to him now to sort of change people's opinions. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because people will judge. People will judge. Doesn't matter at the end of the day. You know, you could be a superstar player, but if you're going to do something like that, people will judge. And it's all about...
Yeah, no, I get what you mean, yeah. I think I'm just more frustrated from the fact, as a fan of the club, is the impact that it has on all of us. I think I said it last week or the week before or something. I was like, take all this stuff away that's happened. If you're looking at him just as a footballer, he's in our best 2,200%. And Rocco just said it before, like he was really good last week. He played really well. I don't know if we win without him. He came up really clutch in the last quarter as well. But the problem now is that the image that it's creating for our club, as we're kind of sort of standing by this player, but also with these night things, he's come in, he's played a great game. Now he comes out. Well, what does that do to those other players that I've mentioned? Like I said, Luke Traynor, he came in 5 first games of the season, played fantastic. He gets bumped to the sub to fit this guy in. Now he's back out of the team. Campbell Gray's going to come into the team this week, play. What happens to him the next week? He comes in, he gets to make his debut, great, and then he's out again. It just creates a whole lot of other problems for our club outside of his whole thing. He's got his sentence, and that's fine. He'll cop it, but as just looking from our club's perspective, it's a real mess.
Yeah, the club, I think, should have just said, you know what, just for the sake of it, you're not playing until this is all sorted. That would have been the better look for the club,
100%.
But they still had a right to play him. It would have probably been good. This is a good one by Rip Chris Bignot. Is that how you say it? All right, Chris O. And Chris O, you're looking good there, mate. You're looking good. Rocco, explain what, I don't know. You're going to ask me to explain. I don't know what would have happened if he went to jail on his contract part. Would he have been paused? That's a very interesting. That is very interesting. I wonder what the contract says.
Yeah, not an expert. That's it's interesting.
Well, he would have shot himself in the foot. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're not. I mean, every contract you sign, there's terms and conditions. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I work for a company, and I've got to do the right thing when I walk into that workplace. And even when I'm outside of the workplace, when I'm wearing the uniform, I've got to do the right thing. Now, people know him as a footballer. He plays for the Richmond Football Club. At the end of the day, it's all part of the contract. You got to. There's a certain standard of behaviour that has to be met by the individual. We can't. It's with anywhere, wherever you work, it's got to be done. And he's stuffed up. He's stuffed up. And I think that we don't realise, but the club is probably looked at as, let the judge make a decision. We as a club know that he's stuffed up. We've given him whatever we've given him. And now it's also about supporting him, because you got to remember something. He's probably remorseful. He's probably, realised, I've done something that I shouldn't have, and he's definitely regretted it. And there's going to be still more punishment. I mean, when he can't play, and he's going to be watching his team. I mean, you think that's not going to hurt him, and you think that the club's not going to financially, disadvantage him? Of course they will. But more importantly, it's about him learning from these mistakes. It's about, development, and, we all make mistakes. We all make mistakes, and these guys, they've got the opportunity. Well, he's got the opportunity to, pretty much say to himself, you know what, I'm lucky. I'm very lucky. This is an opportunity for me to change my ways. So,
and look, you know what? You don't normally talk sense, Manny, because I don't think you got like a couple of brain cells between those ears. But this one time, you've actually said something that's pretty good, man. I like what you said, because you know what? People make mistakes, and that's okay. You know what I mean? If you learn from it and you move on and you become better. We've all made mistakes, so I'm not going to crucify the bloke, you know. Like if he learns from this and gets better, mate, all kudos to you, mate. Everyone deserves a second, even a third chance. You know, people deserve chances if you're willing to change, mate. We've all been there, you know. But as far as should he have played and that, AFL gave him the 4 weeks. He should have played. Maybe Richmond should have held him back. Maybe he's going to pay his due now. And look, you know what? Being a Richmond football player, he's going to cop it. He's out there in the limelight, man. He's copping it more than like normal people will cop it. So, but then people might say, you know what? He gets paid a lot of money. Gets paid a lot of money, mate. So that's a funny argument, that one there, because you get paid a lot of money, then you know you're expected to be treated different. Are you? Maybe yes, maybe no. I don't know. So very interesting.
Good there, fellas. I'm happy with that.
Never said Nick is the captain this week. Mention it. Oh yeah. Well, we'll talk about that later on, mate. About the Collingwood. Yeah, but he gets the other guy, dude. What's this one say? Yeah, but what did the other guy do all day to Balta for this? Oh, fuck, I wish you knew how to write. This not come. That's a bit stuffed. I think you've been drinking and playing your pinball naked there.
Yeah,
I know what did the other guy do? What did the other guy do? No one really knows. Like I said this last night. Yeah. I'm not you know, like saying what he did was correct, but we don't know what happened before, later on. What did he say? What did he do? We've all been in that situation where, you know, you've gone a bit mental. Someone said something, you know, so we just don't know. I reckon we just don't know what he did. Here we go.
Two wrongs don't make a right. Simple as that.
And you know what? You hit the bloke and the bloke hits his head. Does everyone... you know, and the bloke dies, then you end up in jail for what? You know, like I'm telling you, the best thing you can do is walk away, mate. Walk away.
You're right.
I'd have to double search it, but I think the guy kind of asked, or not asked, like he kind of said like he wants to lower the charges or say like he shouldn't have to face jail time for it. I may be talking not facts here. I do apologize, but I think I saw something like that.
Mark and Manny are two wrongs. And you're correct. Mark and Manny are two wrongs and they don't make a right. How are you, Mark? Oh, no.
Every time you mention him, he disappears. You scare him. You scare him. You scare the poor bloke. I don't know what's going on. You're scaring the poor bloke. You are. You're really scaring the poor bloke.
Mark is still frozen from that shit win they had. If he was excited about that win, he's probably got overexcited, exploded in his pants, and now.
But just go quickly, going back on that, what Seba said about, you know, two wrongs don't make a right, and we don't know what the other bloke did. Regardless, if Balta, and we know for a fact that there's been some famous, who was that famous cricket player who got, what was it, that one punch knockout? Fell back on his head, and he passed away.
I was trying to think of before you said it, because that's the
was
one.
Was it David
Hooks? David Hooks.
David Hooks. That's it.
He got punched from behind, hit his head on the curb, and died instantly, man. And that was when he turned back and he said something, you know, and then the bouncer, and I think the bouncer, I don't know if he got very little time or got off, you know, whatever it was, you know. But as I said, man, it's just not worth it, man. I don't want to be the voice of reason, but it's just not worth it, man.
No.
It's just not worth it, man.
No,
you want to go home.
Yeah. Yeah.
And teach him how to use it. I don't know what to do, man. Like, I can't baby these people. Like, if they can't use the camera, I don't understand what's going on, mate. Mark number 2 is required. Yes, we need Mark number 2. Where is Mark number 2? Where is Mark number 2?
Is he sober? If he's sober, put him on. He sounds like he's probably under the influence. He's probably still celebrating Arsenal's win against Real Madrid.
You want to come on? You want to come on, Mark number 2? All right, you know what we're going to do? We can't keep talking about that, but there's another thing I want to talk about. Oh, because this was like, all right. Before we go on to that, because the one I want to talk about, Mark really wanted to talk about. I'll see if we can get him on. But I want to talk about Bailey Smith. Bailey Smith. He gets the ball, and what does he do? He throws it into the face, right? And now he only gets a fine. My opinion about that, right, just quietly, is this, right? Listen, you know me. I'm from the 80s. I'm a hardcore. Like, I don't mind a good punch in the back of the head. You know, like, it's fantastic for me. I want to see some real roughness. But if they're giving people a week for striking, right, that to me is a strike. Just because he had the ball in his hand, it's got nothing to do with it. If that ball wasn't in his hand, right, would that have been 1 week? Guaranteed. 100%. If you go and punch someone in the face for no reason, you're going to get a week, right? Because he had the ball in his hand, what the hell happens? He gets away with a fine. I'm telling you, I like Bailey Smith. He's a top footballer, mate, and he's killing it at Geelong, right? He's absolutely killing it, mate. What a pickup. But to do that, and you saw me, I was happy with the 2 fingers the week before, that's fine. But to do that and think you can get away with it, mate, can everyone just grab a ball? You know, when you start a jumper punch fight, as we call it, can I grab the ball now and just slam it in your face? Can I do that? No, you can't. So how did he get away with it? And the AFL want to flex their muscles on certain things, and that one they let go. Come on, guys.
Because the AFL don't have consistency. We know this. That's their problem. The only thing is, it's a unique situation. I haven't really seen anyone hit someone in the face with a ball.
I don't think you need to see it. I don't think you need to see it more often to say it's something acceptable. But what I like is the fact that the coach has turned around and actually has backed him up and supported him, saying, you know what, he's an entertainer. You know, he's on the field. He's causing. I mean, the Hawthorn supporters were booing him every time he got the ball. So, you know, he's an entertainer. This is now this thing has now made him a superstar.
Yeah, I know, but should he have got suspended for that?
I reckon at least a week.
He should have got a week for that. I don't care what they say.
Yeah, and you know what? It actually looked ugly. It actually, the way he did it, it looked extremely ugly. It's just, it's not on. Not on.
What do you reckon, Liam?
No, I think the way that you put it there, like if he'd have done it without the ball and hit someone in the face, it's a week. So, yeah, why is it different here? Is it because it's something we haven't seen before? I don't know. But, yeah, you wouldn't want to be making a habit of doing that. No.
Oh, sorry, I'm just reading messages here trying to get something up. What's this one? The ball protects the impact. Listen, man. Oh, I thought that was pretty shameful, man. He should have got a week, mate. I don't know what the. Yeah, he's a bogan. He's a good player. I would have him at Carlton straight away. You know, he's a good player. That's all I care about. And he's nothing like the Geelong mold. What if the ball broke his nose? Exactly. What if it concussed him? Yeah. Would he have got more?
Yeah, action and outcome, same thing. It's negligence. You don't need to hit someone in the head with a ball. It's stupid. Don't do it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, but you know what? Yeah, it's like you said, Rocco. He's a good player. He is a good player. He is now, you know, he's a good player. He's a young player. You know, for him, this is all part of the entertainment. You know, it's just, you know, this is going to make him bigger. He's going to be. I'm telling you, he's going to be playing every game he plays. Something will be happening. You know what I mean? It'll be like these players when they're kicking the ball and they're making that noise, or you know, certain players get the ball in there. He's going to be one of those. You know.
What if his nose punches the ball? What if his nose punches the ball? Let's try to get him on again. How are you, Mark? Nah, he can't hear it. Mark.
Right.
Here's Mark.
Oh, yeah, we will talk about that too in a sec. I want to talk about this. The young Swan supporter got 2. Did he get a 2-year ban?
2-year ban.
Yeah.
Did he
16-year-old
really?
kid
Yeah.
too.
Wow.
Yeah, I think
That is
that's a bit over the top. I really do think that's over the top. You know,
All right, what
and
we're
you
gonna
know,
do is
and this,
is
I don't know if you've seen it, Rocco. I don't know if you've seen it. G'day, Andreas. How are you,
What's going
bud?
on, boys?
how
It's
are
not so
you?
nasty, mate.
Black and white. You've jumped in for our old mate Marco. Can't get the internet going 2 weeks in a row.
That's it. You're surrounded by magpies there, Rocco. I was just going to say that this poor kid, you know, fair enough, you know, he got a little bit passionate, and I think it was the record he was holding in his hands, and he's flicked it. I mean, there was no malice in that. It's just happened. It's something slipped out of the book that he had in his hand, and all of a sudden the AFL thought, well, you know what, we're going to use this young kid as an example, and that's what it is.
Yet they won't use Bailey Smith as an example for pushing a ball into someone's face.
Yeah.
Can I just add on that though? Like,
Yeah.
fair enough if you want to make an example out of the situation or whatever it is. Yeah, I think 2 years, like, for that kid was probably a little bit too much. But if you're looking at if you're looking at like a similar incident or something that was absolutely harmless, what about the Collingwood supporter that hugged the West Coast player last year and got a 2-year ban? Like, he hugged him, giving him the ball back, and he copped a 2-year ban.
One second.
All right, one second. Far out, you guys.
Hey,
I agree. And what did he get? What did he get?
I'm pretty sure he got 2 years off the top of my head. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was 2 years as well.
Yeah, I think they've got to be a little bit more. I think they've got to read the room a little bit more here, man. Like, seriously, like that kid. First of all, the hug was ridiculous because, I mean, the player went up to him. What would you do? Like, I'd probably hug if I was in that moment and a player come up to me, I'd probably hug him, you know. And then
it's the same thing. It's the same thing. What happens like back in 2004 where James Hird kicked that goal against West Coast,
exactly,
and goes and hugs a supporter. Now I know we're talking 21 years ago, but imagine if that was now. And then, you know, you end up hugging a player as well because he came up to you after celebrating. What's the difference what's the difference when Jamie Elliott kicked that goal against Essendon in 22 and then all the players jumped into the crowd and everyone was celebrating? It's exactly the same thing.
Yeah. You've got to read the room, mate.
Exactly.
And if you look at it carefully, you could tell that this young kid, and you could tell he was a young kid because he just stood back. He looked like a stud mullet. He literally just, you know, looked like, you know what, I've just pretty much I've done the wrong thing. It come out of my hand. And, you know, and I reckon he's probably apologised to that footy player, or whoever his name was, probably apologised to him about, you know, 10,000 times. But I reckon the AFL, again, has decided let's use this kid as an example.
Yeah, Enzo's in the doghouse.
He's actually happy about it, so he's done something good. This is getting out of control by rat poison. Kids should be allowed to run onto the ground after the game. Can't stand the sight of these idiotic players mugging for the cameras post game. Yeah, I think sometimes we forget about these kids, man. And as I said, I didn't know he got a 2-year ban. I thought maybe he's going to get like a slap on the wrist and go, listen, let's not do that from now on. You know what I mean? Come on, let's be serious. And they're giving him a 2, mate. Well, how old is he? 16. Seriously, the AFL have got a lot more to worry about. How about you trying to fix up like the bloody deliberate out of bounds or the 15-meter rule? How about we try to fix up that? Or how about the goals?
All the security at the end.
So how about you stop people walking in with guns, right? And
that's right.
Yeah, bigger fish to fry, boys. That's exactly right.
It's sad, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's sad.
It is sad, and so that was definitely. And what did you think of Bailey Smith? You reckon he should have got suspended?
Yeah, I mean, if we've seen this before, right? Because it's a new incident. If we had seen it before, then it would have probably been a different result. But I mean, you can use so many examples of like a situation where, like, you know, with the Maynard one on Brayshaw where he was smothering and then knocked him out, they pretty much came out and said if it happens again, the next person's going to get suspended. So I would say it's in the same sort of category as that, like for an incident where they're gonna set a warning and stuff like that. If you do it again, you know, you can't do it. So I mean, I know they're two different total situations. So, you know, but I'm just using as the example of what the AFL is going to do with one situation to the other one. That's all.
I can agree. I can agree up to a point there, but there's two ways if you look at it. That if you've pushed that football into his face is one thing, but to do it the way he did it, I mean, you could tell it was like it's like he basically wanted to smack him with the ball. So, you know,
I reckon
to me, you're gonna wait for next time. G'day,
me,
Marco. Come over, Marco. Welcome.
Can you hear us, Mark? No, he can't hear us. Sorry, Andreas, mate. That's a strike.
You guys are a little bit better than that.
He's back.
No, it is. It is 100%. It's a strike.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Mark.
Boom. Good stuff.
We can hear you, Mark.
I get better connection talking. I get better connection talking to my cousins in the Hoyo in Greece than connections to Mark and Craig.
I actually last night just like grabbed like one of those steel spoons and I just I actually spoke to some aliens last night and I got a better connection than this, man. So
oh boy.
Can you hear us, Mark? Nah, he's gone. You know what? We're gonna get we've got a special guest and this bloke is an absolute champion. So we're gonna have 5 of us on there. He's an absolute champion. This bloke just won his 17th title. Let's get him on. John Cena. Let's go. Let's get him on.
How are we, guys?
Last real champion.
Before we go on, there's 5 of us.
I can't see you.
We can easily.
You can't see him. You can't see him. Don't worry. You're not missing out on much.
Listen to me, guys.
Lose by 85.
Listen to me, guys. We can easily start talking over each other. So I'll put 5 of us, but let's make sure we don't talk over each other and we can have a good conversation. What do you reckon, John Cena? First of all, Bailey Smith, what should he have got?
Get over it. Get over it. Because everyone whinges and cries now that, oh, the AFL, it's everyone soft. You can't do this. You can't stick your finger up. You can't. Get the fuck over it. Since when did we all become, and mind you, it's not a knock on women because I love the women in my life, but when did we all become so fucking so feminine? Get the fuck over it.
Yeah, but sorry, I'm going to have to disagree with you, and you know me, right? I'm going to have to disagree with you.
No, I know you.
All I'm saying is the AFL have set precedents now, right, about the striking, right? He's done that with the ball. I'm sorry, that's a strike. That is mate. If he did that to your favorite player, you would be up.
Yeah, but then Rocco, if it's your if it's Cripps doing it, you're not saying this.
I am saying this exactly.
No, you're not. Come on.
Yes, I am. Take it easy, John. Come on, mate. You think that I would be like that? That Cripps would punch someone in the face and I'd turn around.
Personally, I love it. You know what?
You can't love it. What's next?
He's not out there doing a Connor Nash. He's not out there doing a Connor Nash who should have got 6 weeks because I didn't know what I was doing. Fucking bullshit. You knew what you were doing because without fucking Grime Myers on that field, mate, he was cutting them up left, right, and centre.
That's true. That's so true.
I don't think you know why.
Left, right, and centre. And you're telling me that Sam Mitchell didn't go out there for half-time, three-quarter time, whatever it was, when Grime Myers started getting into the game and started belting him across the park. Go and get into him. You tell me you didn't say that. That's a lot of bullshit.
I don't see what one's got to do with the other. You're talking about a different incident there.
No, but what I'm saying is,
you're drifting.
You cannot smack someone. The AFL have made it clear. They have made it clear, right? You can't smack someone in the face. right?
That's
They've
right.
made it clear. Everyone goes by that rule. So if we get into a dust up in the middle, I can go and grab the ball and just slam it into your face, can I? Come on,
No,
mate. That
you
is
can't.
trying to
No,
be-
hang on.
Do better, John
You can't
Cena.
do that. You can't do that. But what I was saying before, this is where it ties into. It's the first time that we've seen this happen. So the AFL are going to set a warning out. If it happens again, then there'll be a suspension, regardless of what people's opinions are.
Correct.
It's the first time they're
Why
saying
should
don't
there
do
be
it
a
again.
warning? Why
Because
should
it's
there be a
the
warning?
because there's it's not this is not in the rule book. This is not in the rule book at all. So yes, technically it probably in the laws of the game and the way they are with the head injuries and all that type of crap, yes, it's a 1 week suspension or a massive fine at the least. Yeah. But because they've never had it before, here, this is a warning. This is a small petty cash fine or whatever. Happens again, see you later. And it sets an example for everybody else not to do it. That's all the AFL is saying.
What
That's
happens
what
if he concussed him? Would that have been a
you're
different?
not
They
getting
would have.
cussed
They
with the
would have
ball.
had. They would have had outcome. It would have been an outcome-based scenario. Now I can paint an argument for you about Mason Cox taking a mark and getting clobbered by Rory Lobb, right? And getting punched, and there was nothing in that. But then a pissy little incident like this with Bailey Smith cops a fine, right? So there's another argument there alone in itself.
This is what I mean.
But
Yeah.
it's
Go
just
on.
inconsistent. It's inconsistent. But the AFL has set a warning. At least now, as fans in general, we know this is the situation now. When this situation happens, because you know how it is. You see one incident, and then there's a flow-on effect. We barely ever saw players push other players into contests before Samuel Lawler broke his jaw, and now we're seeing it almost every week. Hence, Darcy Moore getting pushed into Jeremy Howe's knee. We're seeing a flow-on effect of different situations.
You know what I think it is,
we
Andreas?
might see this again. Yeah,
you know what I think it is, Andreas? I think it's the fact that, especially with the Lawler incident, I think it's not that we're seeing it more. I think we're taking more notice.
Yeah, well, that too. It could be that. It's like when you buy a car and then all of a sudden you see the same car on the road all the time. It's the same. It's the same concept.
I think that's the thing, and I think it's partly it's an issue that AFL's created themselves with their own inconsistencies. You know, if you get what I mean, like they're so inconsistent with everything. Like you said with the Bailey Smith thing, we've never seen it before. So if it happens again, obviously he's going to cop a week. We he's going to cop a week for it. And look, it is what it is. But I'm fine with what he did. I mean, I don't like. At least he's showing something. All the players are all bots nowadays. They're all bots.
It is, and the reaction that people are having in general, they've been so divisive about something like this or other incidents similar, is because the AFL players are meant to be robots now, where they're meant to be on a such sort of image to society. Correct. You know what I mean? Where you've
they're role models now.
Yeah, and if there's a bit of biff, and the biff could be just a bit of jumper punching and a bit of, excuse the pun for the show, but a bit of pushing and shoving or whatever it is. Yeah. And all of a sudden everyone's freaking out about it, like, whoa, look at this. I mean, correct. Imagine if we had a punch on now in football like it was where, in the 1990 grand final or in the 1985 grand final, whatever it was, or if we had a punch on like, the line in the sand game in 2004 or whatever it was. Imagine if that happened now. Everybody would be losing their mind. That's a different kettle of fish, you know what I mean? But an incident like this, they're just trying to set an example, and it is what it is. You can't do much about it now. So
let's hope. And if it happens again, they'll have no choice but to suspend them, I hope they don't do something like what they do for the 666 rule, where they give them a warning for like 8 years.
No, don't start on 666 again. That's the stupidest rule.
Bro, even playing local footy, that's the worst rule, man. Just like pay a free kick straight away. Everyone knows the rules. The only time with that rule, there should be any sort of exception is if during a goal and they're setting up, players are coming off and on the bench. Give them adequate time just to get into their zones. Right, if they've given them the adequate zone and the umpire's about to start walking up to bounce the ball, then you pay the free kick because they've had ample time to do it. Like it's just such a simple, common sense fix.
Exactly. Exactly. Why can't it be done then? I don't know.
Just quickly, Oz, thanks, mate. He's been a member for 8 years, and also second year in a row as a Carlton member.
8 years.
8 years. Get your magnifying glass out, Rocco. Have a look and see what it says.
Remember for 8 months.
Months, rightio, mate. Months and years,
man. 8 months. This is my second year in a row. That's why I've got you intelligent blokes there as a Carlton member. Hopefully we do well against Geelong this week at the MCG. I will be there on Sunday. Thanks, Oz, man. You're a star. Great supporter of the channel. Yeah, well, listen, we will beg to differ on that. I reckon he should have been suspended straight away. I like Bailey Smith. I think he's a bloody great player, man. And what an inclusion to their team, mate. And what he did last week with the fingers was all fine, but this one he went a bit. And to tell you the truth, I think that knowing Geelong, they would have spoken to him, because that's not Geelong like. They don't do that shit, you know what I mean? So they would have spoken to him about that. Don't worry about that. You watch, Bailey Smith will calm down. He'll calm down. You like getting a ball in the face, do you?
I like he's got character. He's not a bot. That's what I like
I know
about
he's got character.
He's right, though. He's right.
No. I'm just saying I'm not. Yeah.
I like him too. And last week what he did was great. You know, like I like that kind of shit. Shows a bit of emotion.
But this is the one thing. Sorry to keep going on a bit. And this is the thing with the fingers.
You keep going on.
If it progresses to the point where he starts getting weeks, then that's fucked.
Yeah. No,
I'm sorry. Then that's silly.
And I think we all agree with the finger is just fine. And I mean, Mark, you saw Mark. He put the finger up at the start of the
finger out at you people.
And what did I do? I suspended him. I suspended his internet. He's done.
Here we go.
The truth finally comes out.
I think he's shooting himself. I think he's shooting himself because he knows he's going to get pumped this week.
Yeah, well, hopefully he comes back so he can have a bit of a word about. I mean, let's think about it. Come on.
You watch what happened. Hang on, Rocco. You watch what happened. Essendon will now beat Collingwood because I said that. And next week, his internet will be fucking lightning speed.
Perfect.
I'm not.
I hope you're wrong.
Hey, you should be a bit worried, mate. Essendon beat West Coast by 2 points, man. So
watch out.
They're in an extreme form at the moment. So just everyone relax with Essendon.
Contending.
We've got so many wrestlers in the chat, and then Seba told me something before, so now I don't even know what names to put up anymore, Seba, because you got me worried.
Chris Benoit up one.
Don't put that one up there.
Leave the Chris Benoit stuff out.
Yeah,
all right,
please leave him out.
That is not who we want.
But we got Vince McMahon. He was
maybe you can leave him out as well, bro. That bloke's cooked.
Yeah, and Brock Lesnar as well. He's implicated in the touchy-feely saga, so probably don't put him on.
We can't. I know that's true. That's true. Like I reckon, no one in the chat here I can put up. I don't trust anyone on this bloody chat here.
All right. As soon as John Cena came on, the algorithm just went fucked, man.
What about anything else? What about? Do you want to go into the 15-meter rule? Bloody, that's
oh my god!
That's starting to give it the shits now.
What did they do? They paid in that game. I forgot what game it was. They paid one that was like 9 meters, and then there was one that went like 20 meters, and they didn't even pay it.
Well, Andreas, mate, what about the 80-meter, 50-meter penalty that Dacos got in the game? Josh Dacos.
Oh my god!
He came out. Hang on. And this is all. I will guarantee you guys will think the same on this. If that happened to you guys and it happened on your team, and the umpire gave you an extra 20 meters because they fucked up a calculation, you can't tell me that you wouldn't take it and smile. The other funny thing is that Josh Dacos came out on the radio, or was it his press conference after the game when he was getting interviewed, and he said he knew that it was more than 50. But he's like, as soon as they went back on the mark, he's like, I know I can kick this. And he went and kicked it. And he actually got a 50-meter penalty when he kicked it because the player overran the mark when he played on. So even if he missed the goal, they would have brought him all the way to the goal square anyway. So you just take the luck. Sometimes this stuff happens and you just take it. So,
that's a good answer.
Because he did get another 50.
I knew you're too smart to argue with.
As he kicked it, he got another 50. But if he hadn't missed it,
we thought, if
he hadn't missed it, he would have brought him straight forward anyway. So much of a muchness.
Hey, what are you? Are you echoing what Andrew's saying? Are you working what Andreas is saying?
It's Andreas, not Andrew. You still can't even remember.
Andreas.
He's been on all
Andreas,
year.
you're echoing what Andreas is saying.
Magnifying glass now.
What are you, a Neko?
Andreas is Andrew in
Avoiding-
Greek. That's fine.
Yeah.
You're right. You do take that. You do take that kick. No drama, man. Like if you get some sort of advantage in the game, you fucking take it. That's no
It
drama.
just comes down to.
Yeah,
It just comes
it
down to.
It is fair play, mate.
But how do
It
you
just
get
comes
it
down to
so wrong,
part-timers.
mate? But
Well,
how
that's
do
the
you- how do
I'm
the
trying to
umpire
spoil,
get-
mate.
How did
It's
the
because
umpire
they ran on a
Yeah.
diagonal. They ran diagonally, so he got the free kick on the between the wing and the half back. Yeah. So when they brought him in diagonally. So you're covering more meters when you go diagonally. So he would have thought it's as many steps as it is, but because they're running on an angle, they're going in more closer to the goal. So it's become, if you're good at fucking physics and shit, it's become more meters because they're cutting in. So they went 22 meters over.
Yeah, it was 22. But that's interesting. That's an interesting fact then. So tell me. So if you get the 50 meter on the wing, you still go towards the goal. You're going.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So the umpire would have done the same amount of steps as it was if it was like running straight, right? But because he's run in and they've slightly cut in, they've made the angle shorter, which means the steps become more, if that makes sense. So they've overcorrected it by 22 meters.
You can't get it that wrong. You can't get it.
Probably not.
No,
And like we know,
Well, the reality is they got it wrong. That's the reality. The reality is they got it wrong.
In the grand scheme of it all, it didn't matter. You pumped them.
No, it doesn't matter for the game. It's just like getting
I know what
something
you're saying.
so wrong, mate. And these 15 meters kicks, they're getting them so wrong, mate. Like, as you said, they're paying 9 meter marks and then they're not paying, they're saying play on. There was an incident where I saw where it was 20 meters. He called plays on, then he gets caught holding the ball. Like, come on, man. And then my biggest, and you're right there. And my biggest hate, fucking hell, is he's deliberate. I know it's insufficient. I know it's called insufficient now, but let's be serious, bro, man. Is this where we're at now? They
just
might
honestly,
as well
They may as well do it. Yeah,
do it last touch. Do it. Just do last touch.
Goes out. That's it.
Just do last touch and shut the whole thing up. Just
it pretty much is
call
now,
it, but actually call it and say it's like it is in the AFLW. It's last touch. The only time it's a boundary throw in is if it's in a contested. Yeah, if it's in a contested play, if it's in a contested play, like a spoil or players are jostling for it, whatever, and it rolls out or whatever it is, or it bounces out after players are gone for it, all right, throw it in. But if it's someone's kicked it and no one's touched it and they're going for the distance to try and gain territory, last touch. There's no more insufficient attempts. That team thing, it's exactly like the round ball or exactly like AFLW. Just bring it in, and guess what? It clears the rule and everyone shuts up.
I didn't know that was a rule in the AFLW at all. Didn't know. I've never watched the game, to be honest. So I didn't know.
You know what will be funny about that? You know what will happen? They'll then go to video to see who touched it last.
Oh, like a VAR? Nah.
No, but I'm talking. It's not. No, but they wouldn't need to do that because if it's in a contest and someone punches out, then you still do the boundary throwing. Yeah. It's if somebody's kicked it and going for like the deliberate or going like if it's a deliberate out of bounds or whatever, then there's no more insufficient tape. It's just the wording of the rule and it changes everybody's perception. And then you won't be hanging over the fence screaming and you won't have it where the umpire decides to throw it in and then people are throwing shit over the fence, losing their minds.
Exactly, yeah.
It gets all that out. Just pay the free kick. Everyone knows. So
even
easy. Just like 99% of the time, like it's pretty clear and obvious who has put the ball out of bounds. Very rarely will it be like, I'm not sure it last came off. But if you stick with that, as that's the rule, who touched it last?
And it also alleviates the problem when it's a miss kick, right? So like if a player's going for a miss kick and it's just going and it's actually going towards the goal for an advantage or whatever, but the way their ball's shaped, it bounces sideways and it goes out of bounds. Well, guess what? Bad luck. That's last touch. Yeah. It's a free. Even though it's a miss kick, it's still a free kick. End of story. People then shut up.
That's where it's going to go because the crowd are fucked now.
Well, it should go now.
Crowd scream it every time now, regardless if it's deliberate or not, man. They just.
You know what the worst one is now? It's the holding the ball rule. Now, I watched every single game this weekend, especially Saturday night. I watched all 3 games back to back to back. the holding the ball rule now. What's holding the ball and what isn't. You got players getting spun 450, not getting rid of the ball, and then it's getting called ball up, or they get rid of it last second, or they're dropping it and they're not calling it, and then 5 seconds later they're doing the same exact thing and calling it.
Wasn't it halfway through, not last season, the season before, they got told to change the interpretation of the rule because of the swinging, so they had to pay it a lot quicker. Yeah. So I reckon they're doing that now, but because we're so conditioned to it beforehand, right? It's sort of potentially changed our interpretation as well as the umpire's interpretation. So that probably needs just to be. They probably just need to be a bit more clear on that, because I actually don't think it's too bad. The one that gets me is when the players got literally no prior opportunity and then they've called it straight away. That's the part that's a bit like.
They got everyone in the crowd singing ball.
So, yeah, I might be a Collingwood supporter, but I know the rules pretty well. So,
what about this? I reckon I know this is a bit basic, but I don't know. How about this? We pay it when it's delivered and fuck the insufficient intent crap. If you mean pay the free, if he misses the kick or goes 40 metres and then leg breaks it over the line, let it go. And I completely agree, because they changed the wording now. It's insufficient, correct? Right.
Yeah.
So now
I like that. I like that, but it's still down to the interpretation of the umpire, and then that's going to then cause doubt in the fans, and then that's going to cause conversations.
Unfortunately, AFL is like that. There's a lot of rules that are in the interpretation of the umpire. You know what I mean? Holding the ball, in the back. A lot of it's like that. So. And these rules they bring in, you know why they're bringing these rules? It's to quicken up the game. That's all it is. Everything is to quicken up the game, Everything's to quicken up the game,
Was it the NAB Cup they did it where if they went backwards, it was play on?
Yeah.
If they're going to if they're going to try and speed the game up, just fucking bring that rule in. You may as well. At this point, if you're really trying to speed the game up that much, just bring it in.
I just think with all rules like that, it depends like how the players adapt to it. So like if the rule changes to what we said, like last out of bounds, if it goes out of bounds, people will start leaving the ball and they'll wait for it to run out of bounds. Players will be like, well, if I run and try to touch it and it stays in play, I could lose out. Whereas they're like, well, if it's going to run, I'm not going to work as hard to get it because I'm going to get the free kick anyway. There's no point putting effort in. But I mean, it's like the you guys know the stand rule where you got to stand on the mark. Like players adapt to that well. Like, I know when I played, I like it because I can run, I can take off, run, get round onto my right before the player on the mark's even moved. So with rule change, it just all depends how the players and how the clubs adapt to it to suit their game. That's how it works. Same with like tackling as well. So the one with all the heads going on the ground, players are now being cheeky with that. They're actually putting their head onto the ground when they get tackled so they can get the free kick because they're saying, hey, umpire, look, it's a dangerous tackle. He's hitting the head. It's all how players and clubs adapt to the rules. That's how I see stuff happen.
That's what they are. They're all paid actors at this point, the players. Tomorrow.
But they're smart. Like they think like same as like players ducking tackles or shrugging their shoulder to get it over the shoulder.
If it wins you a flag one day, you won't care. You won't care if they're paid actors. If it wins you a flag one day and you get some bodgy free kick in the goal scorer in a grand final, you'd be like,
obviously not. Obviously not. But until that point, they're all paid actors. It's become a joke.
But it comes down to the umpires again and their inconsistencies. Like Andreas is right at the start. Like if an umpire is going to give you a 70-meter, 50-meter penalty, you'll take it. It's like fair play.
Oh shit, yeah.
It's not Josh Dacos' fault that he's got it wrong. It's kind of like, well, if you don't know how to count 50 meters and you give me 70, I'm not going to call you out for it. I'll take it.
You got to look deep into this problem and what is the problem. And I think it all comes down to part-time umpires. You know what I mean? If you want to be, let's be serious. All these inconsistency comes down to part-time umpires and them not doing this full time, which they should be. It's the most professional, biggest sport in Australia, and yet our officials are part-time.
Isn't that crazy?
They should have their own clubhouse in each state, right? They should have their own full-time. So core umpires in each state should be full-time. You can have your part-timers with them as well, but you have each umpires and the umpires that are umpiring. Most of them are the same umpires that umpire every game. So not this guy umpires this game or whatever. You have a group of 4 umpires,
like
they're
the
going to
NBA.
they're going to umpire the same games together, right? So then they have like a team. They've got like communication. They've got understanding between each other. So there's no hesitation or anything like that. Again, it's such an easy fix, and money's not an option. You can pay these guys $500,000 if you wanted to, right? And I guarantee you the umpiring will be a lot better because they're getting more money from it. And it's not as if the AFL doesn't have that money. The amount of the amount of stuff, how expensive everything is that's got to do with football, even just going to the games and getting tickets and paying memberships alone can cover their wage for a season. You know,
TV deals they've got now. It's just
come on, man. You're talking billions and billions of dollars for TV deals.
It's become a joke.
And then in the next couple of years, we're going to have, I reckon it's going to be standalone soon. It'll be standalone streaming services showing the AFL, and you're going to get the real low rating games on free to air. That's all you're going to get.
Yeah, like
well,
the
they're
league
already not showing.
Us. That's what it'll
They're
be.
already not showing it on a Saturday night. Is it Saturday night games aren't on Channel 7?
All Saturday games, I'm pretty sure. Aren't they delayed or something?
It's
No,
supposed to
they're
be
not
the
showing it
game
all.
At all.
The game for
No,
the fans,
so
is
there's
it?
no,
The game for the fans.
on Saturday nights, there is no football on free to air television. I know, because when I was at Collingwood and Port Adelaide, we played them on, that was a Saturday night. It was a hot Saturday night, or was it Bulldogs? I can't remember. My papu gave me a call and goes, "Where's the football? Why is it on Channel 7?" And I'm like, "It's on Foxtel or Kayo." And he's like, "Well, what's that?" And I'm like, "Well, there you go."
Yeah, it's become a joke. It's become a joke.
What's for the
So-
fans?
And KO itself is garbage. It's
Kayo
garbage.
is just a recycled Foxtel. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's all it is.
I like it.
You like what?
Sorry, Will don't have $40 a month extra to spend on more streaming stuff. Sorry, man.
I've got KO because I like watching the Grand Prix. That's all it is.
Okay, well, fair enough.
See,
I'm a
that's what I'll watch the F1 and stuff, but I can't afford to go and have Foxtel and pay all that extra bullshit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I'm scabbing off my old man. I got my old man. He's got Foxtel. I've got the Foxtel Go app on my phone. I'm scabbing everyone's.
Yeah.
I've got Disney for the kids, and everyone's like, "Oh, can I have Disney?" I'm like, "I'll give you Disney, but you give me everything else, mate." You know what I mean?
That's it.
We're not encouraging scabbing. All right, we're not promoting scabbing. But
If you got the AFL app, can't you watch the games on that? If you got, what is it, Seba?
Yes,
AFL, 7 plus.
Now, what have you got? Is it the AFL
You
app?
got to have KO. You got to have KO, Rocco.
You have to have KO.
You must have the KO. You must have the KO. There's nothing else. The KO.
All right. Before we go
AFL
into the game, I want to go into the games. We've got a question. We've got one question here. This is for you, Seba.
If you don't believe it's scripted, well, then you're an idiot because it's not.
What?
It's not scripted.
Is it scripted?
It's not scripted.
Answer him.
Wrestling is real.
It's real.
I thought it was real.
It is real. I know what you're talking about.
Take so much offense to this shit, man. Seriously, man.
It's real. It's real fighting, isn't it? It's real fighting.
No, it's real entertainment. It's real
Tell
entertainment.
Tell the bloke who died when he got his neck broken all those years ago if it's real or if it's fake.
Yeah, Hearts, bro.
When Hart fell off the thing, 24 meters off the ground.
Yeah. Tell him that it's fake.
It's fake, isn't it?
Wrestling is, we obviously know it is scripted. We obviously know it's scripted. But the shit that they do is not. It's not for the faint of heart. You're not jumping off a fucking steel cage from 20 feet onto a... we're not doing it. It's real.
They're professionals. They're professionals.
Yeah, they are.
That's what they do. They get paid a lot of money to do that. They're professionals.
Bro, if I got spine busted in the middle of the ring, I'd shatter my spine in 8
Someone
places.
actually died, mate. No, you're wrestling. I mean, you were part of it, Vince.
Yeah, Owen Hart, he fell from the roof.
Do better, mate.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Right, let's get to the games. Come on, chop. Let's do it. Let's get to the good stuff now.
He's taking over, mate. Bang.
I know what he wants to do because your game was.
Yeah, we know why you want to chat about it.
While we got him here, because you're probably going to go do some housework and that, don't you?
I got to get the feather duster out, mate. Put my mate outfit on.
I like the feather duster and the feather duster, the leotard out. I'm sure you'll be doing plenty of work on.
Oh yeah.
Here we go. That was the first game. Brisbane Lions 6-7. No, what was it? 7-8. What was it? 7-8. What's that? 11. I fucking missing this whole thing. Oh,
7-11-53 Brisbane. 16-9, 105 Collingwood.
Exactly. That's why I got Liam there. So there he goes.
Magnifying glass, mate. Come on.
Well done,
Rocco Morrow's not happy. Too many Pie supporters on this
stream.
All
right, so we got the Pie supporters here. There you go. This is your game. That's why I got you on black and white, because if we rely on Manny, we'll get some idiot kind of talking here. But between you two, I'm sure we'll get something out of this.
So I said last week, I was very, very worried the way that Brisbane would transition the ball through the midfield, because the Gabbers are narrow ground, right? Now, what I noticed that we did very, very well was we were able to shut off them cutting it back into the middle, because we obviously like to play the wings quite a bit and then cut it back into the forward 50. We were able to stop any sort of rebound that they had in the middle. The last 2 weeks, right, every time we've been challenged by a really good opposition, albeit obviously Sydney had some outs, yes, but these are the last 2 grand finalists, and they've challenged us, and every single time they've challenged us, we have come back with a master stroke coaching strategy on how to stop them from scoring. Our defence has held up. I'm worried with Darcy Moore obviously not playing this weekend, but going to this game against Brisbane, we just did everything that we needed to do. And every time they tried to come back at us, because there was parts in the third quarter that I thought, oh no, like they're going to, if they get a run on here, we might actually.
The start when they scored that goal early.
Yeah, I was a bit worried then. I'm thinking, these guys can probably come out now and get us. But I will say one thing. Whenever we played against Brisbane previously, even when we beat them in grand final and before that last year and stuff, I just noticed that like Joe Danaher always tore us up, and he was always such a focal point in the forward that we couldn't handle. And without him there, I think we adapted really well and we were able to stop anything coming in high to them. Our defense just pushed it out so well. I said my heart was saying 15 points, the Pies would win. My head was saying Brisbane 15 points, so I was around there on the line. But I didn't expect us to do what we did. And I'll be the first to put my hand up and say I had no idea that we were going to do that against them away from home. But you take them. You take them when they're there. And, we are playing some pretty good football at the moment, which is good to see.
Happy days in Collingwood at the moment, yeah.
And just for everyone else, we've still got to put Dan Houston in our back line this week too, which is a really good inclusion.
Yeah. I did say if you beat Brisbane, I'll call you contenders. You're definitely contenders now.
Yeah.
But there's still a long. Oh, thank you.
Don't play it down. Say it. Don't play it down.
I just said it, mate. How else do you want me to say it? You want me to do a fucking song about it?
There's no but afterwards. There's no long way to go.
There is a but. The reality is it's a long season. Reality is it's a long season. We know that. It's a long season.
At the moment,
it's a long season.
Manny, you're speaking facts tonight.
We've got 12 players who are over the age of 30, right? So it's all about how are we going to be able to maintain those players. At the moment, Sidebottom, he's playing like he's a 22-year-old. The way he runs, the way he controls the ball, the way he's just, once the heavy weather comes into it, the rain, all we need is a couple of injuries, and then it becomes a really long season. So at the moment, as I would say, and I'm hoping the gods are listening to me. There they are. There you go. You see, the gods are listening to me. You see that little white line? The gods are listening to me. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. So at the moment, we've got good things happening at Collingwood, and also we'll be talking a little bit more about the game against the Bombers later on. But Nick Dacos, fourth youngest captain for the Magpies.
First time, the youngest captain, 57 years or something like that. So it's a pretty decent effort. So but just on that too. Just on that, looking forward to next week to the game on Friday. I do think that Darcy Moore not playing for Collingwood is a massive out for us.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Well, he's been able to regain that form that he had in that 2023 season. He's refound it.
Yeah,
I
also just want to make one more point before we move on to the next game or whatever, but because I'd like to see what Rocco's going to say about Good Friday. But I will say, as a Collingwood supporter, right, and someone who's like literally lives and breathes everything about this club,
Really,
Collingwood needs to play Mason Cox every week.
What
he does for Darcy Cameron. And the way that he relieves Darcy Cameron the ruck, and the way that Mason Cox does the tap ruck work to, Dacos to go in Pendlebury is too important for our side not to have him. They won't pick him this week because it's going to rain. They're going to bring Memory back in, and you can't have too many talls. I understand that. But every time Mason Cox plays, Collingwood wins when he plays with Darcy Cameron. In 2023, we had both of them out. We had Ash Johnson and Billy Frampton in the ruck. Then Darcy Cameron and Mason Cox come back in the ruck, and then we win the flag. These guys, combination-wise, are the best in the competition, right? So
Rocco loves Cox.
Well, he should, because he's just dominating.
Okay.
Cox is,
the low-hanging fruit.
Didn't say no.
Well, I actually heard you say that on one of your little posts that you did. I heard you say that you had a bit of a rant about Cox and she'll keep him in. I don't know.
If he kicked those 2 goals against Brisbane when he marked them directly in front, if he nails them and doesn't miss them,
he misses too many of those goals. He's too. I don't know. Like, you're right. When he goes up forward, I mean, he's hard to stop when he puts those hands up in the air and that. But hey,
wait up. Sorry. I've just got something to point something. I just seen it pop up on my TV because I've got the comments flowing. I just see No Regrets saying that the reigning premiers are overrated.
Nah.
Come on, man. Come on.
I wouldn't go that far, no.
He's entitled to his opinion.
No, but come on, that's a dumb opinion, bro. Overrated.
Yeah. And you know what? It's you have to be fair.
That's like me saying to you guys are overrated when you're not.
No, but it's fair to say that Brisbane were due for a loss. Yeah?
It was just a one-off.
Like, you don't know, man. Like, they're still second on the ladder. They've lost one game. It was a bad loss. That happens, mate. You can't say they're overrated. We'll see what happens.
And you got to remember, you got to look at their previous weeks too. What did they come back in, like 2 or 3 of those games? A 5-day break, and wasn't it stinking hot up at the Gabba too? So look, it all plays a factor. Whether you like to say it or not, it all plays. And you know, that's not negating what Collingwood did. Collingwood dismantled it limb by limb, but yeah.
But every team's due for a loss. Every team has those losses. We had it in the opening round. You know what I mean? Correct. Brisbane had it against us. Port Adelaide had it against us. Like,
we had it.
We had it for 4 weeks. You had it for 4 rounds. It happens. You know, these things happen. So it'd be just interesting though if it has a flow-on effect in the next few weeks. Yeah. Then you can start asking the questions, but you can't ask it off one game.
No, you know I think that, and again, he's jumping. Yeah, they are. Didn't you see the game? Watch the game, but yeah, I think it's a bit too far to go and say they're overrated.
He's a lucky but he's a lucky black and white.
And they were they were 0-5 last year too.
That's right, they were. But you're lucky, man. You're so lucky.
Why?
Because we got Essendon this week.
Sorry, let me just take the headphones out. I don't want to hear that shit.
Bro, who's playing it?
Stop it, Matty, you fucking idiot.
Yeah,
you're in
the
game,
I thought you were playing it.
I'm going to play you.
Hey, John Cena.
I was just saying that yous are so lucky. Like, yous have just been kissed on the balls, mate, because yous have got Essendon this week. And they are shit, man. They are absolutely.
And no Draper, too.
No Draper too. He's out for the season. That's a big loss for them, mate.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, you've got to be confident this week. Do you want to quickly talk about your Anzac Day? Because I know you've got to go and do some feather dusting there.
look, Darcy, as I said before, Darcy Moore out's a big out for us. I think we're going to really have to try and sort of cover that with another tall, quick defender. So either a Tujaith or a Jacob Ryan, I think, will come in for that. Houston in is a massive in. I don't know if Mason Cox, as I said, is gonna play.
Now, who's that?
That's not me.
At the moment, they're on fire.
No.
I think that's Liam. Hey, Liam, are you playing the pies?
Mate, I would not be caught dead playing that trash. Absolutely not.
But I do think I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Ned Long is going to win the Anzac Day medal. All the focus will be on Nick Dacos. All the focus is going to be on Nick Dacos. On Josh.
What's he paying?
$34 last time I saw today.
I'll have a bet and I'll DM it to you.
Yeah, like he might not, so don't count. But I just think he's the type of player that can just seriously do some damage to Essendon's midfield. And if he does, like, let's say he gets 30 touches and might snag 2 goals. That's almost enough to have him in the conversation. And if he was paying $34, gamble responsibly, but here we go.
I'm picking your Rockman, Darcy Cameron. Darcy Cameron, best on ground. That's my pick.
You have to pick all the outsiders because Nick's probably going to win it. So all the value will be pretty much from the second one down.
Well, we got.
It'd be interesting to see how well Nick Dacos takes on the captaincy. Whether he's still going to be able to play that free.
I don't think it'll be a difference.
Free type of game, and it'll be interesting to see.
To tell you the truth, I reckon. You want to know the truth? I reckon the captaincy is a bit overrated, mate. Like, seriously, once you run out there, I don't think Nick's going to be really doing anything different. Like,
no, he won't. But he's been given it on the biggest home and away game of the year.
I reckon. Yeah, I know. But do you think being the captain? I think leaders make a difference. Leaders on the ground make a difference.
He's a leader. He's in the leadership
but the captain, I don't think makes a huge difference.
Hang on, you telling me that Cripps is not a captain's captain?
He's a leader, but I don't rate captains as I rate them as leaders. But you're trying to tell me if you're captain, you're going to do something different. Like, I don't think so. I think if you're a leader,
there's a responsibility. There is a responsibility there.
Toss the coin.
Well, no, I think there's a lot more than that. I've seen Cripps. I've seen him dig Carlton out of a massive hole just by his leadership, because they look up to him.
You actually said it for his leadership.
Yeah, but they look up to him because he's the captain.
Yeah, but they look up to Curnow. They look up to Wiedering.
Oh, Curnow, really? You put Curnow. Yeah. You fucked it up there, Rocco. You fucked it up.
Did I? How many games do you reckon Curnow's won off his own boot?
I'd say Wiedering's more of a leader than Curnow.
Yeah, Wiedering's a great leader, but don't worry, mate. When Curnow takes that game on and wins the game off his own boot, that's a leadership role. That's a leadership role. That's a leadership role.
Well, as I said, don't get me wrong.
Good captains. We have one of the all-time great captains in Steve Kernahan. He's my favourite player of all time, and he would drag that team across. But he would have done that.
You going to the game, Andreas?
No, I've got both my kids this week, so I can't. It's my birthday on the day after, so we're having a barbecue at home.
I'm going, and I'm going to put these on just in case.
You're going to a game.
Any bombers want to come and take me on? I'm going to have these on. You want to come and take me on? I'll have these on.
For the tickets?
Trust me, I know Manny. He's not going, right?
Who'd you scam for the tickets?
You've got no idea.
I've got plenty of idea, and you know what? I reckon I've got more chance of going than you.
Look, it'll be a good game. So
I want photos of you at the game.
Who did I want?
Who did you scam for the tickets?
Oh, look, I can't say too much, but I do have my connections. Rocco knows I have my connections. So,
all right, boys, I got to go. Pies by 35. Ned Long, Anzac Day medalist. That's my tip.
BC, Cameron.
There you go.
Enjoy,
All right,
man.
I'm off. Thank you very much for a lovely night, boys.
Go on,
All the
Andreas.
best.
See you,
Have a good one.
Andreas.
See you,
See you,
boys.
Andreas.
Catch up.
Boom.
Bye-bye.
All right, while you're there, John Cena, there was another game.
It was.
Man.
It was.
We were
I can't
there,
see
me and
them,
you,
man.
as we are at every game. I don't think we've
Yep.
missed too many games over the last few years, me and you.
No,
Um,
I haven't missed any.
So there you go, 11-5-71 to 24-9-153. It was just a shellacking. We've talked about this in depth last night. We can talk a bit about it now.
Just
Was
beat
the
up on a
win?
bunch of bums.
We beat up on them, and we should have beat up on them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, like I said last week, you should be beating this team by 70 points. I said it last week. You know what I mean? You got to these teams. You got to no mercy. Put them to the sword, kill them. That's what you got to do, and they did it.
Yeah.
But
we've been asking for that.
I'm not going to sit here and say, like I've seen some people say in the chat last night, or some people say online and stuff. Oh, we're back. Relax.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I did this last
But
night.
you know, we're not sitting here and saying, "Holy
No.
shit, look how good we are." Let's just take.
What did I say?
Is it fair
What
to
did
say
I
that
say?
this is a good confidence boost for the team, though? It's fair to say that.
We don't know.
You don't
You
know.
don't know. You don't know.
Okay.
You don't
So
know. You just don't know. You just don't know. Like I was saying this last night, right? I was trying to be like very positive last night and I was saying, if I said to you 2 weeks ago, what do you want out of these two games? And you'd say, we want to win and we want to win well, right? And we did. So we'll take that. But what did I say last week to you, Manny?
Well, you
What
said to
am
me
I-
straight out that the proof will be in the game against Geelong.
And that's it. And now, will they take confidence? I don't know if they're going to take on. I hope they do. I hope people like Motlop and all that do take confidence and they do something this week. But what if they do the opposite? So if we win this week, it's going to be great. If we lose and we lose badly, well, then that's going to say more than what if we win, you know? So.
Yeah, but Rocco, would it surprise, like not being a Debbie Downer, but would it surprise you if we lost?
No.
That's the thing. That's why. And like I said, and like you said, it's all well and good beating up on these teams, but then you got to come to this game, this Geelong game, which is what you said last week. We're looking forward, and I don't know if it was Manny or Mark or whatever that was saying, about looking forward, but that's what we meant. Now, you've given them a good old shellacking, the Kangaroos. You sent them back down to Arden Street. Now, can we kick the Cats back down to Cavinia Park?
That was shit.
know,
And just a few things on Carlton, right? Since they did win by 81 points, you know what I mean? I mean, there were some good. I like Durden's second week. He's done it again. I know it's against. Let's forget about it. Was against two shit sides. Second week, he's done well. I'm happy to see that. We're looking for a small forward, you know. Hewitt, he's all Australian form at the moment. He's playing that fucking good. Like he's really good. Wiedering, he'll be good for this week. He's a star, Wiedering, man. I'm so happy we got that bloke down there. And then we had some other good performances. Cheddar's been playing well, you know what I mean? I like what Walsh is doing on the outside. TDK just keeps on doing his stuff. I actually like Cottrell. Cottrell's doing some good work.
There's one player too who I'd like to mention that I don't particularly like him, or didn't really like him, and Jack Silvani. He's been quietly going under the radar. I think he's moulding himself well into his new position. I think he's doing well.
He's doing great, man. To tell you the truth, we were all saying, what are we doing? Putting him in the back line. It's stupid. I'll tell you what, he's our second best defender. He's killing it. He really looks like he's got the attributes to be a good defender. And if that's the case, we found something, you know, like he's a good player. So, and if you look at our votes from last night on the jumper punch, who's leading? Well, you got Hewart at the top and you got Sauce second, you know, and that's good. That's good, you know.
It's good. It is good.
But it's going to be a massive game this week, man. I'm so looking forward to this week. I'm pumped. Either win or lose, I'm pumped. I want to see us go up against Geelong. To me, Geelong are the best
They're a
and
premier
most
side.
side. They're just professional.
They're just as they always are. They're a premier side of the league. When you're coming up against those sort of teams, that's when you really see where the benchmark is and where you can, how close you are to it, or if you are further past the benchmark.
This could be a good J-Toss on Jezza. Fucking hell, man. Like, he's going to be hard to stop, man. They got so many good targets up the front. So it's going to be a good game.
It's a tough one.
Hey, listen, what we're going to do is I'll put up the link again and we'll put up some people. But in the meantime, we can talk about another game. I'm sure that I was going to talk about, well, he's not here, is he? Where is he? He's just disappeared, so I can't get him. But we'll talk about this game here. Hey, look at this bloke. Look at this bloke. He was fucking pumped, mate. No one picked this. No one picked this. No one in Australia picked this, right? And
only the Richmond supporters.
Yeah.
And not even them. I mean, not even Liam picked them. So 12, 8, 80 to 9, 15, 69. 69.
Right.
Yeah. How'd you see this?
Nice.
Very
Wow,
nice. That was very nice.
Oh, boy, I love it, boy. It's beautiful. Now, look, I'm stoked. Hey, how good is that? Eh? I mean, and we were ahead by more. You know, we were ahead by like 43 points going into that last quarter as well, just quietly.
Were you panicking a bit there, Liam? A little bit of panic in that last quarter?
Oh, do you know what? I think my parents were watching. I was at home. I was home alone up till 3/4 time. Then they came in, and obviously Gold Coast have kicked 3 goals straight away. And I was like, right, you guys got to go back out again because we're going to bottle this. And you've jinxed it. We've been playing so well, and you've jinxed
It's your fault. I love that.
Yeah.
But
Honestly, what a brilliant match. Hey, we did everything right. I think last week I bagged out the senior players in our team, saying I wasn't happy with their effort. Totally different this week. They carried the team. There's still people that want to bag Tim Taranto and Jacob Hopper, but those two, they were fantastic. They really let us in the midfield. They won the ball all day. They competed really hard. I thought Nankervis was incredible as our captain again. Nick Veloston's probably my favorite player at the club. And,
what a champion!
His game was genuinely like best game I've seen from him. His first half was incredible, man. I think he had like 10 marks, 20
11 intercept marks in the first half. I think it's I think it's the most ever or some shit like that.
Like,
crazy.
He was insane. It was just really good stuff to watch. We had that running game going, that confidence was going, and I mean, apart from the last quarter where Gold Coast did really push back in, like those first 3 quarters, once we got challenged, we just kind of said, no, we held on. We even started getting on the run. I think we had like runs where we kicked 3 or 4 goals in a row, and Gold Coast just didn't have any answers for us. I mean, Seth Campbell, again, he's been one of our absolute stars this year. He'll be right up there. He'd nearly be top 3 in the BNF for us right now. Yeah, so much to like. I think it gives us a lot of confidence going forward. Yeah, like someone said, like, can't get the smile off my face on this one. It was awesome.
You had 2 good wins, man. Like, really 2 unexpected wins, you know, and they're the best sort of wins, man. And, you know, like, to tell you the truth, I picked the Suns, but I was pumping for Richmond in that last quarter, man. I wanted them to hold on, mate. Like, I wanted them to hold on for sure, even though you're a rival. I still wanted I wanted Richmond to fucking hold on there, and they did.
You know what the thing is, Rocco? Like I said, what was it, last week or the week before when I came on and I said to Liam, even though they got pumped after the second half, you could see what they wanted to do. You can see what they want to do, and you can see what Uze is trying to implement. And it came to full fruition on the last weekend. And then we're going to go back to this point in which Manny made the point about Uze. Is he the right man about getting rid of him?
No, Mark asked that. No.
Yeah, I know. After 5 games.
They get confused there, mate. They get confused here. I'll give you one of take this. I'll send this to you. You start sniffing it, mate, and it might help you clean up your passages.
That is. Yeah. You oh boy.
Bit of
Manny,
Rub.
you know that's Manny. You know that's not a lubricant. You know that.
No, but I'm just saying it's a deco rub. You know what I mean? It's a deco rub.
Like I said previously, you can see what they are trying to do, and it's mate, it's paying dividends. And like that,
you spot on, man.
And I was just watching I was watching one of the things from, I think it was Footy Classified or some shit on YouTube just before the show, and I think it was it North Melbourne or something made a pick swap to you guys for this year.
Yeah. So
and they went back in the order last year to 27 or 24 and picked up their forward that they picked up and gave you guys a second round pick, and then you've now got their first round pick for this year.
Yeah. So we've robbed them. So pick 4 is our pick for next
number
year.
2 right now.
But we get pick 3, which is North Melbourne's pick, which is mental. But I agree with what you said, Seba. Like you can definitely see how we're playing, that we are building towards something. And this is why I said, like, I think even Rocco said it last week. It's like we're a young team. We're gonna have moments in games where we struggle, and it's gonna be tough. But it is when we put it all together, like this week against Gold Coast, it's really exciting to see. And I mean, I'm sure we'll chat about the fixtures as we go later in the show. But just looking at our games coming up, Melbourne tomorrow night, that's a winnable game. Like, I'm confident we can go and win that. I think we've got Hawthorn next, which is a tough one. And then we've got West Coast and North Melbourne, all 4 games at the MCG. I may be getting a bit carried away here, but there's potentially 3 wins there, the way those teams are traveling.
As a supporter, you're saying that, and look how confident, like, obviously you're not getting ahead of yourselves. You know where you are at this point in time as a football. But you being that confident, what is it doing to the playing group? You know what I mean?
I mean, like, they're going to be feeling that, like,
100%.
and there's so
and they're
many
going to play
things
fearless footy.
like,
they're going to play fearless footy, which is not a lot of teams in a rebuild can go out there and do and execute it well, which you guys have shown you can.
No,
I think part of that is the expectations that we had. Like, we had people before the start of the season saying we weren't even going to win a game for a whole year of football. Like,
and you beat us.
We've won 2 already. And like I said, the confidence we have with the run coming up.
Yeah, fucking hell.
You set the benchmark. You set the benchmark for Carlton.
This is a good point here. Richmond is the reason North Melbourne are copping it in. And if you look at now North, it's been like a few years. And I'll tell you what, Richmond look ahead of North at the moment. They just look all over the place. Even though I think they've got some really good players, North. I mean, we watched them firsthand. They're fucking shocking, mate. They just gave up. They just gave up.
They just threw the white towel in.
We got a special guest. You want me to put him on?
Yeah, why not?
Put him on.
Who's the special guest?
We got Rat Poison. I only allow Rat Poison not to show his face, right? Because it's Rat Poison, which is fair enough. How are you, Rat?
Oh, good evening, Rock. Great to be here. Good evening to you and the other panelists and everyone in the chat.
Good evening, Rat Poison.
So I'm gonna leave it to you. What have you got to say? I'm sure you've come on because you've got something to say, mate. What is it?
Well, you're right, Rocco. I've got a few things to say, but the first time I came up, it was just one big Rats rant. I've actually got a few discussion points tonight. Just one quick rant. But firstly, of course, it's a week of Geelong Carlton, and it's funny because obviously Carlton's not had a great start, but if you take the Richmond game out of it, I thought, obviously Carlton has been in the other 3 games against 3 decent sides. I don't know, I can't understand what happened against Richmond, but and now they've got a bit of confidence, and of course Geelong should win. But it's funny because before, Rocco, you were saying late last season about the injuries for Carlton. Of course, people should make excuse about injuries, but Carlton had a shocking run with injuries. And so I'm not convinced that I've been critical of Voss, but I'm not convinced it's all been Voss's fault. I thought Carlton was cruising. I thought Voss had done a good job. He'd won my respect. Carlton was cruising towards our top 4 and got a lot of injuries. And then they had the Richmond loss, which was terrible. But since then, they haven't done too badly. They probably lost a bit of confidence from Richmond maybe they could have won a game or two against Collingwood and Dogs and Hawks. I don't know, but anyway, my point is that I won't be going. I think Geelong is obviously should start favourites, but I can kind of see how Carlton, is a chance here, and so I'm not willing to say Geelong's going to win by heaps. I think we possibly could, but I could also see Carlton winning by 4 or 5 goals. So I think it's a very interesting match.
I'm picking them by a couple of goals. And quickly back on this Voss thing, right? I hope he does well. I hope he wins a premiership under Voss as coach, right? Don't get me wrong, But I think in the last 3 or 4 weeks, I can see a little bit of a change in a game plan. I can just see they're trying something. To me, if Voss stayed doing what he was doing in the last year, it would have been out. But if he can change his ways and play to his team's advantages and that, I can't see him doing a bad job. So look, at the moment, he's doing all right. But the big test is the next couple of weeks, mate. We've got you guys, and that's going to be a massive test. And then we've got Adelaide over there, mate. So if we get punished both games, he's back on the chopping block. Sorry to say, but
just to add on to that, Rocco, with the Voss thing, I mean, I'm not going to say it's the same spitting image. They're going to go on a 15-game winning run, but I sort of felt like, was it the press conference after, was it the Pies?
Yep.
That
Yep.
you could see that he started to look more honest.
yes,
He started to put it out there, look more honest, and I think I want to revert it back to that Essendon game in 2023.
Yep.
When it became honest again, when everything was, with both that and this time everything was laid bare. You know what I mean? The club was, both times, the fans were in upheaval. Everyone was losing it, and I think they've become honest with themselves once again. Look, I don't know why it's taken them to get to 0-4 to become that, but I can definitely see maybe more in the North game, because I think they played way better than in the West Coast game that the players, and maybe they're starting to look a bit more free, which is
I hope it gives them that confidence. I hope it gives
Yeah.
them that confidence, and they go out and they give.
And I
And you're right, Rat Poison. If they give it a good crack, I'll tell you right now, they give it a good crack, right? I can see him winning by a couple of goals, man, because I remember last year's game against Geelong, we absolutely smashed them by about
so like
60 points.
69 points, or
What do you reckon, Rat?
I think that's all good points. I just think you're right, Rocky. I mean, if Blues do lose the next 2 games, then Voss is obviously in a lot of trouble now. What can you say about that? I couldn't agree more, definitely.
Yeah. And what about, you said another point. What have you got? What have you got?
I've just got a quick rant. I mean, to me, there's no such thing as a small forward. These blokes are forward pockets. The top forward pockets have always been the resting, from being on ball. And nowadays, they rest them through the interchange. And that's, just part of the reason why the game's been destroyed. I mean, guys like Barton and Matthews and even recently Selwood would go down for a rest, and it'd be impossible for backmen to match up on. The top forward pockets are always the top, on ballers who went down for a bit of a rest. And these days they talk about small forwards. It just makes my ears hurt. They've got to be small and they've got to be forward. It's just not right.
You know what it is too, Rat Poison, and I like that. And I like that too. You know who's turned into that now for you guys? It's Dangerfield, and he's fucking dangerous,
Dangerfield.
man.
Now he goes forward and kicks 3 now.
And he has, and at the age of 34, 35, he's leveled up again. He's leveling up, which is, and it comes back to your point, the best ones are like the midfielders that go down there and thing, and it proves your point right. Look at Dangerfield. This kicked, 8 in 2 games or some shit?
And Cripps a couple of weeks ago too, Seba.
Yeah, he kicked 3, I think it was, or something like that. So, yeah, I do believe, you know what, I do agree with your statement. I do agree with it. So
I agree with that. And to tell you the truth, forwards to take a break on the bench. Seriously, what are we doing here, man? Like, seriously, you should be, going up forward to take a break. Yeah. So, 100%, man. Good point. That's a very good point, man, and you're right. In the old days, mate, people like Lee Matthews and that, used to rest up forward, and then you end up kicking 900 goals. So that's a pretty good small. But you're right; they shouldn't be small forwards. They're forward pockets. You're right.
That's Matthews was just amazing when he went for a rest hand forward and turned games, and same with KB and Chris Lewis as well for Eagles. So one other thing was I try not to get too much into politics anymore, Joe was sending me a bit crazy the last couple of weeks in that he said, well, we can't talk about Harriet Mackay, but we can talk about Balta, and I think it's a bit of a double standard. And I just want to quickly talk something about Harriet Mackay. I've heard that there's a big drama going on with him. I can't confirm any of this, of course. And the reason I was going off of Voss, I thought Voss was the problem, but apparently there's deeper problems at Carlton, and it's none of Voss's fault. And I've heard that there are problems, and I guess a lot of people have heard different rumours, and so it was just a bit of a double standard to me that we can't talk about Mackay and sift through it and get it all out in the open, but we can talk about Balta. And I don't understand today's modern society for this kind of something. Secrets are okay, some are not. I think we should just get it all out in the open.
And you know what it is, Rat Poison? You know what it is, Rat Poison? It's like Paul says he said it a million times. It's the feminization of like our football clubs. That's what it is, unfortunately.
Do you think, right, as soon as you mention, and I wanted the other guys to have a bit of a say in this, do you think that as soon as you mention, right, mental health, they're off target then? You cannot talk about them anymore, Do you think that's what's happening?
Yeah, I'd be very interested to get Manny and Liam's thoughts on this as well, yes.
Yeah, what do you reckon, guys? As soon as if someone can have any sort of, soon as you mention that it's a mental health problem, mate, if you say something, then hey, you're the bad person. You cannot talk about them, So I find that not just in football, in our workplace, in our society. What do you reckon? What do you guys reckon? Fuck, this has gone really deep now. Go.
It is. It's a sensitive issue to say that. I think it's hard because you don't want to upset someone if there really is a problem. But without being a bit too cheeky here, I feel like it's a pretty easy cop-out these days to sort of say, I'm having a bit of a problem with stuff. I'm just having a hard time. Just give me a rest. I get that. I don't know. I feel like sometimes it can be a bit of a cop-out. I think Rat Poison kind of compared it to what's going on with me mate Balta. It's different. Like you don't think that all this stuff that's going on for him is having some problems for him upstairs. He's been in the media all week, all the time now. That's all we hear about from him. Like, that's definitely probably doing some stuff upstairs for him as well, I'd say. But yeah, I think with mental health, it's something you got to take serious. But yeah, sometimes I do feel like it's a bit kind of like,
I think
just saying it as a cop out, or I don't know.
No, I don't agree.
Before we talk, Manny, I just want to quickly on Liam, just a quick. I kind of agree with you, and I don't want this to sound wrong, but
Yeah.
I believe that mental health is a serious issue in society. I do think some people use it, and then it takes away from the people who really have it. So it's almost an out for a lot of people, Life gets a little bit harder, and then all of a sudden they use that. Now people
use it as a novelty
wrong and say, "Oh, but you don't understand," and that. I just believe that it's a real issue, and these people do need either help or medication, whatever. I think society's a bit like now. It's the easy cop out. I always use the term of my mum didn't hug me enough syndrome. It's whenever something goes wrong, my mum didn't hug me enough. It's mum's fault. Oh, right. Like that's sorry, Manny.
I'm with you, Rocco. You're right.
I was going to say that if we go back, say, 15, 20 years ago, the word mental health or men being being not afraid to express how they feel emotionally. It was forbidden. So I think we've come a long way over the years, especially the last 10 years. We've come a long way with Beyond Blue and other societies that have introduced, the ability to support mental health. Because let's be fair, we see a lot of people, we know of a lot of people who have ended up, suicides, etc. So the fact that they're opening up and they're actually saying, you know what, they're actually crying out for help. And for me, that takes a lot of guts to be able to say, you know what, yeah, I am suffering from mental health. And, you might sit there and say, and you might be right that some may use it as a cop-out, but I think it takes a lot of guts for anyone to turn around and say, especially publicly, you know what, I'm suffering from mental health, or I've got anxiety, and it's not something we should take lightly. We shouldn't take it lightly.
No, I think you're right again, mate. That's good.
I don't think we do take it lightly. As I said, there are a lot of people out there that are actually, because life's hard, bro. Life's hard for all of us, man. You got family, you got bills, you follow Carlton. Life's fucking hard, mate. And then all of a sudden, and I do agree. And I can't talk. I come from a different world, right? I'm silent. I'll just get on with life, man. And I won't change. That's the way I am, man.
I do think rat poison does make a good point, though. Whereas, in the comparisons of the way Balta's been berated in the media Balta's been berated in the media since it's happened. Let's be real here.
And especially
it's been longer. It's been longer than a week. So if we're allowed to then pick on Balta, which I've seen people do on Triple M have been one of the worst ones, just completely and uttering just eating him alive. If we're allowed to do that to that bloke, then what says we can't go into deeply about what's happening with Harry Mackay?
Because Harry Mackay's, they've kind of come out and said it's a mental issue, so now it becomes off limits. Is that what's happened?
But see, then again, then again, I still think it's wrong, because even if you come out or not come out, I'm pretty sure it's pretty bang dead on right in front of you that Balta would be going through it too.
So if Balta comes out and says, "Listen, I'm struggling," you know what I mean, and that, I guarantee everything will stop on him.
100% it will.
No one will joke about it anymore.
No, 100% it will. 100% it's going to stop. But then again, the damage is already being done, has it not?
Oh yeah, for sure, mate. Good point, Rat, mate. You've been hanging on to that one. I know you've been hanging on to that one for weeks, mate.
I have, and just to get my 2 cents on it, it's hard to put into words. I haven't really thought that deeply about it, but I think it is a bit of a cop out. And I think Vince was asking at the start of it, is Harriet going to get paid for all these, these times off? Who can go to their job and get weeks off, from such a job for mental issues? I think is ridiculous, but it's beside the point. The point I'm making is this: Harriet Mackay's missus has apparently been up with some board member and has been causing drama in the club. And so, and that's why it's all been covered up. But why is that being covered up? Why isn't it being sifted over? Why aren't people discussing, is it a board member? Is it someone else? What's it got to do with Harriet Mackay? Is he getting paid? All these questions. Nobody's discussing it, but we can sift through the Balta stuff. I just a quick thing. I've got a strong hatred for fake news and all leftism and all bull dust. And every time I hear fake news going on about mental issues, it sets up my antenna. Why are they doing this? What are they trying to do? Now, Rocco, I know that you work, I know what job you do, and I think it used to be called the Transport Corporation. So it's a corporation, and so it's all hard left wing, and so you're conditioned and brainwashing it all the time. Then you come home and watch a TV, and it's all conditioning and brainwashing as well. It's very hard to escape. I've escaped it a long time ago, so I don't hear any of it. But as I said, my antennas go up every time when I hear them pushing something. I think there's something going on. I think it's wrong somehow. I don't exactly know how, though.
There's always something going on, Rat, mate. Always something going on. Don't you worry about that, mate. There's an agenda for everything. Don't you worry about that, mate.
Exactly,
So,
Rocco.
that's good. Hey, it's great that you came on. Thanks again, man. You've been a great supporter of the channel, man. I appreciate you coming
What a
on
star.
and having your say, man. And you're welcome to come on at any time, brother.
Great to be here, Rob. Take care, gents, and have a good evening. Thanks very much.
Yeah, right, boys.
See you,
See you,
mate.
mate.
You're right.
Oh, legends.
What? We're just getting so. This is getting
That's
too.
a hard-hitting question, man.
Can I get a video of this bloke? Because I did see you had a video on there before you come on. Come on, mate. Put your video on. And
G'day, guys. How you going?
have you got a video?
Is
I
that
think he's
working?
working on it.
Is that
I did
working?
see your face before, but anyway, we got Gull Vegas.
Is that
I don't
working,
want
guys?
to. I don't want to get to the trend where no one puts their face on video. I don't want to get
That's
to that
right.
trend.
Here
Here
he
he is. Here he is.
Here he is.
Is it
Whoa.
working?
Yeah, it's all working, mate. How you going?
All good?
Gull
Yeah,
Vegas.
good. Hey,
How are you?
yeah. Good.
Where
Thanks.
are you
No,
from?
it's
Where are you-
Lawrence from Warrigal.
Oh, Lawrence from Warrigal.
Yeah.
From the big goal.
The big
Yeah.
Gull.
Go Vegas.
So what's going on, mate? Like, what's going on with you?
Oh, not a whole lot. Just
Who do you follow first?
yeah,
of all?
hanging out. West
Who do you
Coast.
follow? You're a West Coast supporter. Oh, you
Yeah.
almost
Yeah.
those dirty bombers, those drug cheats. You almost
Right.
got it this week.
Nearly.
Yeah.
But yeah, my mate Scotty, I know he really likes you guys.
We just got. Is that
You know,
Scotty's
It's
cousin?
exposed already, man.
Yeah, what
Oh,
about
no,
it? What's
just-
going on?
I don't know. I haven't heard from Scotty in ages.
I haven't heard from him either for ages.
I thought he was going to be on here, so
I've been waiting. Even on our chat, John Cena, has he been on our chat?
I haven't spoke to him personally in a while.
I know.
he's disappeared off the bloody face of the earth.
You know what's going on?
Nah, no, I haven't seen him in ages.
Really? Did you used to see him like often?
Oh, you know, every now and then, yeah.
Yeah, he's just disappeared, man. Ever since he had that bit of a blue with Manny, to tell you the truth, man. He's
Manny,
like,
man.
he hasn't
Oh,
come
yeah, I
back.
think I heard something about that, yeah.
Did ya? Did he say something?
Oh, no, not like he was just saying that, you know, there was a bit of, you know, he was getting a bit aggro about something, but I don't know.
A bit of tit for tat.
A bit of tip for
Yeah.
that. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you do hear from him, man, can you let him know that we're worried about him? Talking about mental health and that, I'm actually a bit worried about the bloke, man.
Yeah, we love.
Yeah,
Scotty.
no, I'll hit him up for sure.
This guy, Scotty's in the bunk. Are you in the bunk?
Right.
Sadly, no.
That's it.
I did want to ask you, Rocco,
Tell
and
me.
you know, putting teams aside or whatever, do you reckon that Chris Judd was better like to watch playing for West Coast than he was for
That's a
Carlton?
good one.
I hate this question. You know why? Because I
And
love
like
Chris Judd.
teams aside, you know,
No.
like just as a player.
Look, he won a Brownlow, and he won, I think, 5 best and fairest, or four or five for Carlton. You know, so he was a
Yeah.
great player for us. But if you want me to be honest, I mean, he was at his peak at West Coast in those first 100 games, mate. He was phenomenal, man. He came out from day one, and he was just probably the best young player to come out. So I loved what he did at Carlton. You know, like. He did some great stuff, but what he did at West Coast, because he lost a bit of that pace in that when he came to Carlton. He lost that
Well, mate,
He
yeah.
still had it. Yeah, but he lost a little bit of it, you know what I mean? Where against West Coast, he was just phenomenal. So
I guess he was super young, like when he first started
was,
with West
yeah.
Coast. That was
And then
his
he got
young years,
injured.
you know.
But it was
Yeah,
also,
yeah.
I think, a different team, Rocco, because you had, you had players like the Matera brothers. You know, I mean, they could run and run. I mean,
The Matera brothers,
that-
I thought there was only one. Was there two?
Well, Matera, and there's a few other players. There was about 4 or 5 players who supported Judd. I mean, and all of them were just, they were machines. They would be running and running and running. They were, for a couple of years, they were very, very feared as a team.
But I think we also forget that. I think we also forget that when Chris Judd came in to the league, he sort of revolutionized his role as a midfield, like that specific role as a midfielder. Yeah. He was light years ahead of any 18-year-old that had came into the league.
Oh, man, like the way he used to play though was crazy. Like, when he get out the front of the stoppage and run,
and I still think that even yes, he did play probably some of his best footy at West Coast. I also do think that some of his best footy and arguably his best games were at Carlton.
Oh, he had some great games.
Some of the games I remember them. I remember them like yesterday. Some of the games he had. There was one in Sydney. I think it was in the rain. He always put us on his back, and you knew when Judd went bang, you knew that boys fucking buckle up. We're going for a ride. So
unreal. Yeah, and he did have, like Manny did say, make a good point. He couldn't articulate himself properly. But when you had Judd, you had Cousins, Kerr, you had Cox as a ruckman, and who else?
I think David
Lynch,
Glass,
Warapunda.
Lynch at the front.
That midfielder, Cousins.
That's right, David Warapunda.
Yeah, that midfielder, Cousins, Judd, and Kerr with Cox as the ruckman could be arguably the best centre setup that I've seen. Cousins was an absolute
he was a freak.
It was a bit of a golden age for us. Too bad.
You must have been like wetting your pants every week, mate. Like that would have been like I'm telling you.
And I think also awesome. One of the Selwoods was
later on, Selwood, was what I mean.
Playing for the West Coast. I think Selwood actually played in the Premiership side.
Yeah, I think he did.
2006 from memory.
Adam Selwood,
question, but he was still a gun for Carlton, man. I love him. I talk about 5 players I used to pay my money just to go and watch these players, right? And Judd was one of them. Like I would go and pay money for Judd. I'd go and pay money for Favola. I'd go and pay money for Stephen Kernahan. I'll go and pay money for
Nick Dacos.
But you know what the thing is, right?
I wouldn't fucking pay nothing for that bloke.
I think personally, if he had won a flag, he probably would have been top 5 Carlton players of all time.
100%.
Because of what he would have dragged, which he did drag the club through mud. But if he had won that premiership, he would have been top 5 of all time.
All right, I'm going to give you a question back at Gull Vegas. I'm going to back at you, brother. Listen to this one. You think the trade was a good trade for both teams? Kennedy for Judd.
Yeah.
It is a good.
Yeah, I'd say so. That is a pretty good trade. Both of them, went on to do great for both teams and were great in the teams before they moved on. So it wasn't like either team really made them as players. They were both good before, and they're both good after the swap. So no, I think
100%. And I hate the argument. People go, but Kennedy played on for like 10 more years. Yeah, because he was 21 when he went over there. He was 20 years old. He was going to play longer. And I don't think we would have won a premiership with Kennedy anyway. Right, so I don't think, and I think Judd did a lot for Carlton at the time, man. He straightened everyone up, man.
Yeah, at the time, he's what we needed.
We needed him. I heard Murphy come out once say that when Judd came and they saw him train and do what he did outside of like training, what he did on his own, changed the way he played the game. Because after that, he worked out that, you've got to actually
what he did outside of training.
What's that?
We saw what he did outside of training.
Who's that?
He married that supermodel. Everybody will remember that brown lane.
Yeah.
He was with her when he was at thing, so I don't know what he did, but the work he did afterwards. So I think it was a good trade for both. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
Well, you're right though. But Kennedy was a great player for
mate, he
West
won
Coast.
a premiership, man.
He
He
won a
kicked a
flag.
lot of goals, mate. Fuck, he kicked a lot of goals, man. He had that shit run up, but who cares, you know? So, Judd definitely carried the team just like Cripper is doing, and I'm feeling that one. I hope Cripper one day gets it, but I feel like he could miss out, you know. So that's good, man. Thanks for coming on, mate. You're a star.
No worries. Thanks for having me. You guys are legends.
If you do speak to
Make contact
Scotty,
with Scotty.
I'm being dead serious. I've not heard from him from 2 weeks. I've put out the message and he hasn't responded. He's like on walkabouts.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll hit him up and see if I can track it down. But yeah, thanks, guys. Have a good night. I'll see you.
See you, brother. See you, mate.
See you, mate.
We've got the West Coast. How about we you know what? Let's have a quick look at this. He's not here, but West Coast 75, Essendon 77 was a shit fucking performance by Essendon. Fuck him. See you later, Jack. You're gone. Right. Now, what do you want me to say about it? They were shit, man. They were absolutely shit, West Coast.
They don't seem to be doing too well over the last couple of years against the West Coast anyway.
They lost last year against them.
Yeah. So the fact they just got over the line, you know.
Come on, West Coast just got beaten by fucking 70 points before. They can't win a game, and they almost won.
I think it's just compound interest on their woes as a football club that now Draper's dead for the whole season. So.
And I'm telling you now, this is a massive. Like they can't afford to lose a player like Draper. They cannot far out because they haven't got much in the bloody back in the bag there. So
well,
for them,
Todd Goldstein will be playing, won't he now?
Yeah,
probably. Is that they bring him back? I mean, what's his name? 2 meter Peter ended up kicking 6 goals, but he's not going to be doing that too many times.
Nah, I think Collingwood are going to have fun against them this week.
We've got Oz. How are you, mate?
Good. How are you, bro?
Another star of the show. What's going on here? Nah, that cannot be. Oh no! What did I do there?
Oh my god!
Because I can't see the picture. It's got the big. It's got like the thing on there.
Oh my god!
That was good.
Oh Jesus Christ!
That's good. That's a good one.
That is.
I just wanted to shout out Liam Romeo in the chat.
Who's that?
Liam Romeo, WWE Carlton in the chat.
How are you, mate?
Yeah, mate. Tell him to get on, Liam Romeo.
How are we going? How are we going, Oz, mate? How are we feeling about this week?
Pretty good. It might be a close game, though.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah, compared last week, I said 5 goals last week, so I'm not sure about this week. Maybe we'll win.
You reckon?
Pretty sure we'll win.
I picked us to win.
I tipped us to win. Yeah.
I listen. Sorry, man. You put me off. He's put me off there. But if you see what I'm seeing here, there's a picture and there's like the YouTube.
Mate, do not put it up again, mate. You will get us cancelled. Oh my god. This is bad.
You missed it, didn't you, Oz? You missed what I just accidentally did. But anyway, so what do you reckon? What is going to happen this week? How much? Who's going to be leading goal kicker, best on ground, and what do you think's going to happen? And what's the crowd going to be like? That's another interesting fucking thing about this week.
Probably 20 to 24 points. Best on ground crits this week. Kerno might hit some goals, and the crowd might be over 75,000.
I think so. I think you got to have about 70,000. We'll get out there, man. The bandwagon supporters are going to come out there and and fill the crowd, I think. And Geelong usually get a few people out there. They get them from down the highway.
Yeah.
No, he can't show that. Like I'm still like a bit like you got me, whoever that was. That was very good, man. My eyesight's bad enough as it is, let alone see those pictures. What do we got? Am I missing some? Yeah, you did miss some. You missed something really big.
You're making it worse, mate. You're making it worse. Oh boy. I really hope my fans are watching this. Oh boy.
Come on.
No.
What else? What else have you got, Oz? What else have you got, mate? What else have you got? About this week, what else have we got?
About the Carlton Geelong game.
Yeah. What do you reckon? What do you reckon's going to happen? Like Mackay's coming back in for sure. Who they dropping?
I'm not sure.
I reckon. What do you reckon, John Cena?
Who are they dropping? I think it. Oh, Jesus Christ! Who are they? Honestly,
who's in your team?
Lewis Young, man. They got to drop Lewis Young for it.
Lewis Young. No, you know what? Keep him in there. Keep Mackay baking in the twos. Get some form back.
Nah, no chance, man.
Nah, they'll drop Lewis Young. They'll drop Lewis Young, obviously.
No chance. I'll tell you right now, there's no chance that he will play any games in the two.
Nah, he's coming straight in for Lewis Young. He's coming straight in. Go.
No, I was going to say, we talked about it last night, and I don't think there's going to be any other changes.
Nah, it'll just be a not really like for like, but it'll be a 1-for-1 swap. That's what it'll be.
Yeah, I agree.
The lineup's not available. I'm just checked on the AFL site. It says not available yet.
Who's that?
For the Carlton Geelong game.
Nah,
who's
that come out like Friday.
Not till tomorrow night.
Friday,
yeah, I think
our game. And
Mackay.
But they'll announce
your
that.
extended team tomorrow, yeah.
They'll announce that, they do in the week with one player comes back, they'll make a post and say, look who's back.
Right.
That's what they'll say.
That's it. They'll do the announcements tomorrow, and just keep a lookout for the review with Paolo. He'll give it a good review about it's a big game, mate. It's a huge game, man. Like
in the context of our season, it's huge.
This is huge, man. This means everything to come. This is probably the biggest game in the last, apart from the final, which we fucking fagged up. This is the biggest game in the last 10 months, 12 months, man. This is the biggest game, because if you can beat Geelong this week, you'd have to say, I'm not saying you're back, but you definitely got your mojo back, and you just don't know what's going to happen. You know what I mean?
You're half on track again.
Well, you're half on track, man, and then that's it, man.
You're not smoking anything, are you there, Rocco? I hope you're not smoking anything.
So you don't think if we beat Geelong?
If you look over the last 10 months, the only two teams that you've managed to beat is North Melbourne and West Coast, and you got thumped against Brisbane. You've come back this year.
He's not saying we're going to beat them up.
You beat.
We beat Geelong last year.
Manny.
Wait a sec. Let me just respond to Manny.
Well, let me finish first.
No. All right, go. What are you going to say? You're going to say the same thing again. What are you going to say?
No. What I want to say is that wasn't the game against Collingwood test?
You're not listening to me, Manny. You're not listening to me, right? Not fucking listening to me. You're as dumb as a doorknob. You're as dumb as that knob we just saw 5 minutes ago, right?
Yeah. You are. I'm just trying to understand what you're saying, because
I said in the statement that I said, what was wrong with it, right?
I don't think it made sense.
Because you got to listen. Because you and Mark do exactly the same thing, right? You and Mark think about what you're saying. You're not listening to what people are conversating about, right?
Please
I said, what was wrong with what I said? I said this week's game could be one of the biggest games we're playing in the context of where we are in the last 10 months. and you come up with, you've only beaten North Melbourne and West Coast. That was what you came up with.
Yeah.
So what was wrong with what I said? You don't think that beating Geelong this week would be one of the biggest things we've done in the last 10 months?
You've got no hope. No hope of beating them.
I
actually think that Geelong's going to spank you guys so hard that it's going to be time for Voss to stop shagging.
Manny, it doesn't matter about the result. Manny, shut up. It doesn't matter about the result. What was wrong? Because now what you're trying to do is you're trying to cover yourself. Man, I read you like a fucking Mr. Men book.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yes, you are. Because I asked you a simple question. Right? Answer it. Or else I'll take you off. Answer the question. What was wrong with the statement that I made?
Well, it's big problems with the statement you made.
What was the problem? What's the problem with it?
Well, because you played against Collingwood, you got done.
I don't care about Collingwood. I said that's done.
You're flexing your muscles now because you beat the two most rotten teams.
I'm going to ask you again one more time, right? And if you answer with anything but a but, I will take you off this screen. What is wrong with the fucking statement I made about playing Geelong this week could be the biggest game we've played in 10 months, where we are at now?
Well, look at the way you guys have been the last 10 months. You're putting it down to this game.
I'm absolutely politics, man. All I need him to say is, again, he's coming up with fucking rubbish. Manny, I swear to God, I will take you off.
Now, let me say something. Let me say something for you both, right? Because
you're an idiot, Manny.
You have to look at it from a different point of view, right? It's like where my team is at the moment. We're going into a game where we're maybe not favourites to win, but we're taking in confidence from the week before, from how we've played, and that's what you guys are doing. Doesn't matter who you play against. It's not even that,
Liam. I didn't even say that. I didn't even say we were going to win. All I stated was it's a big game for us, massive. Correct. In the context of Carlton,
it is a big
Voss and the year, and Manny was just trying to be funny, and it's not even funny.
Bro. Manny's fried, bro.
I'm not trying to be funny.
Absolutely fried.
I'm not trying to be funny.
But you're putting words into his mouth.
I'm just trying to understand. I'm just trying to understand that you're basing it on Geelong against Geelong is a big game, all right?
Yeah.
Right? But I'm just trying to understand what is it that you think it's going to achieve? That all of a sudden you beat Geelong, that all of a sudden you reckon you're on the road to what, bigger and better? Is that what you believe?
Of course.
What do you mean? Because
what do you mean? You're trying to say we win 3 in a row, we beat Geelong, who are probably one and now a flag contender, and you're trying to say, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Are you scuffed?
You played Carlton, you played North Melbourne, and you played West Coast.
We know that. We're not getting.
They are the two rocks.
We know that, man. We're talking about.
We're not going mental about the win, though. That's the thing, which we said literally an hour and 20 minutes ago.
Okay, so what you're saying is that if you put in a great performance and you beat Geelong, this could be the turning point.
Shut up.
Well, no fucking shit.
I don't want to hear from
Manny. The turning point was last week.
I don't want to hear from Manny.
Well, so there you go. The turning point was last week.
I don't want to hear from you because you're an idiot. Shut up. You're an idiot. Thanks, Don. Man, I appreciate, man, you coming on. You know what we mean, man. It's a massive game this week. I can't wait to get out there and see where we go up against a really good side, man. So, yeah, man, you'll be there. I know you'll be there.
Yeah, I'll definitely be there.
Yeah, 100%, man, and we'll be there. So thanks for all the support, brother. You're a top star, man, and make sure you get on next week again after we beat the Cats.
All right, we'll do.
Thanks, mate.
All right, see.
Bye,
you are cooked, bro. You are cooked,
Manny. There's like, now I'm gonna be serious with you now, yeah. not once have we gone mental about these 2 wins about North Melbourne and West Coast, because they're bums. We know that they're bums, right? But what I think you are failing to process in your brain, your Collingwood brain, this is what you're failing to process, and this is what a lot of Collingwood people have this failure in their brain. They can't process this correctly.
Go on.
If we beat Geelong and if we put out a good performance, no fucking shit, we're half back on track.
Of course.
No shit.
Okay. No, that's fair enough.
But if you're telling me if
that's fair enough. If that's what you believe, who am I to break your little heart? Who am I to break your little heart? If that's what you believe,
But
right, that's fine.
But it's facts though. Like,
but
I personally think you're delusional. But who am I to break your little heart? I think you're delusional.
I personally think you just lack the critical thinking skills.
Not at all. Not at all.
You do.
Because
clearly you can't process that. Clearly you can't process it in your brain.
No. Not at all. Not at all. But I'm just trying to. If you believe that's what you believe, okay, then that's what you believe.
I think that's what a wider majority of the AFL world would believe too. But
that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
But you can
I think you guys are.
No, but you know what, Manny? You can sit.
I think you guys need to
sit there in your room. You can sit there in your room and not go to the games. You can sit there. Don't worry about it. I'll believe you.
Yeah. I tell you what.
No, we're not.
You if you beat Geelong, I will then turn around and see you perform well. I'll then turn around and say, you know what? Yes, I agree with what you're saying. But at the moment, I just can't.
Wait.
I just can't.
Wait.
That's what we just said an hour ago.
Right.
I can't see it.
I can't see it.
What are you saying?
But I can't see it. That's what I'm saying. I can't see it.
Manny. Someone clip this. Peter, clip this past thing. I know you'll put in the.
I'm going to clip this like an old fuck.
I just can't see it.
What we just said for the past 10 minutes, in that if we beat Geelong, put out a good performance, that we're half back on track, which is now what you have just said and given it to us for the past 10 minutes.
So have we just argued for 10 minutes for nothing then?
For no reason.
Because can't you see what Matty does? Okay. He tries to be funny.
This bloke's having us on. He's having us on.
No, hey, you know what? I'll tell you something about Matty. He wasn't having us on, and now he's put the hat like that to show that he's a clown, right?
Listen.
Really, you don't even go to games, Matty. You don't even know what a half forward is. You couldn't even name your bench at the moment.
We spoke about
Who's
this.
Who's going to be on your bench this week? Who's going to be on your bench this week?
Well,
Who's going to be on your That's all I want to know from you. Who's going to be on your bench this week? Who's going to be on your bench this week?
Oh, for fuck's sake. The teams are not out yet.
Who? Say, even the dog went poof.
The dog's at it, mate. Oh boy,
you're a dickhead, mate. You are an absolute moron.
But Liam,
as soon as Marco goes off, Manny just takes over the idiocy.
Wait, Liam, can you tell us, me and Rocco, we're not going insane, are we?
Are we going insane, Liam? Is there something wrong with us, maybe?
No, I think you're all a bit insane, but no. I think what you've said is spot on. Again. We'll use our phrase, the head on the nail or whatever it is. If you guys go out and beat Geelong this week, we have to start taking Carlton serious again.
Oh, fucking unreal, below. Let Manny talk. I'll let Manny talk, but this is God. And just our new sponsor, because she did ask, I don't know if it's her or whoever it is, but who's our new sponsor? So our new sponsor is the Sporting Globe. So make sure you get down there. The Sporting Globe, Northland. That is our new sponsor. Thanks to get down there, get the app, and you can get yourself some great discount. This is unbelievable. I'll put the link out there. If anyone wants to ask Manny a question, please get on. Please get on.
Rocco and Seba, can I ask you guys just one question about your game?
Yeah, of
Just
course.
one
Yeah, okay.
I'm not sure of. I think someone mentioned him before, but the Dangerfield matchup, who do you guys send to him?
It's tough, man. It's tough, man. And we talked about this. I reckon it might be like a McGovern.
Nah.
Well, who would you put? John Cena?
I personally
Yeah.
myself, I'd put myself on him. Because I just hit him with the attitude adjustment and he can't play for the rest of the game.
Oh, mate, yeah.
You would do your back within the first run warm up.
Nah, I personally, fuck. On David, it's a very hard matchup. It actually
it's hard because he's a strong boy, man. Like,
yeah, he's a big boy.
Like,
and then he can run up the ground too, man. Like you know, and get the ball on his own. Yeah, he's a great man.
You know what? And you know what, Rocco? You probably are. You look. As much as I don't really like the thought of McGovern on him. Not that I'm saying he can't have a good game against him and negate him. I don't like the thought of it, but it probably will be McGovern. Yeah,
it will be. I can't see no one else. You can't put Sard on him.
You can't put Ollie Hollands anywhere near him. Like,
what about?
He'll smash.
I don't think you're going to put Sauce on him. Wiedering will probably go on. You know, he'll go.
You got to remember they are pretty tall as well.
I know.
Oh, Seba's done a mark.
He's done a mark. And look at that face.
Yeah, he looks like a stunned mullet.
He does. He looks like the fish I caught the other day. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Danger will probably throw McGovern around, but I think that's the only person we've got. They reckon Jack is the man. I mean, Jack could do the job.
I reckon that's a better pick.
You reckon?
Yeah. Give him a crack.
Could be.
Can always roll with it for a half. If it doesn't work, swap it.
Yeah, it could be.
What about your mate Bailey Smith? How are you going to stop him?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove him because I can see him at the bottom there if he unfreezes, and I'll bring him back on. Then what we can do, he's come off. So everyone comes out without knowing they are talking about and just keep, yeah, that's perfect. I hate when someone comes out without knowing what they're talking about and just keeps, I know. Then you try to get yourself out of trouble. No, but that was gold, mate. You give me gold, Manny, to clip up. That's fantastic, man. That is fantastic.
That's what we're here. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. We're a guest on your show. That's what we're here.
Of course, you're a guest, man. What do you think you are? You come on like. He actually came on 4 minutes before the show, and then he thinks he's part of it. Oh, we got Dodo into that. You know what we got you there? You know what we're going to do? We'll do the. You want to do the games?
Oh, we might as well do the games.
Are you going to do Mark tips? Are you going to do Mark tips?
Yeah, I'll do the Mark tips. I'll do them.
Let's get into it. I'm excited.
Oh, let's do the
first game. It's a big one tomorrow
Everyone.
night.
Play in the chat. Everyone play in the chat.
All right. I'm going to get it on. The first game, big one tomorrow night. Anzac Day Eve clash. I'm really excited for it.
One.
Melbourne versus Richmond. I'm backing my boys in. Tip my team. That's all. Who are you guys tipping?
Tigers.
You know what?
I'm going to pick Melbourne.
You have picked wrong. Unlucky. Right.
Yeah.
Why are you picking Melbourne?
Why not? Why not?
Why not us?
Why not? At the moment, I think both teams are still growing and still do. I mean, Richmond. We know Richmond's still, young team, developing, growing, etc. I think Melbourne. Some of their old veterans, pulled the win out of the hat last week, and I think they're going to do. I think they're going to do okay against Richmond. So Melbourne for me.
No, you make a good point. We are pretty evenly matched. I just feel like over the first 6 games or whatever it's been, I think we've shown a bit more that we're more capable than Melbourne. That's just my personal opinion. And that's not a biased opinion. I think we've probably played the better football over the first 6 weeks in Melbourne. I think
This might be the game. This might be the game that changes everything for Melbourne.
It could be, yeah, but
I think, yeah.
I've got to stick with my team in this one.
Cozzy Pickett's been a big one for them. He's like been a shot in the arm for him. So, but
he's playing
and
for a contract.
How good was Gorn and Petrarca? I mean, Petrarca's an absolute monster in the middle. Look, I'm going to have to go for Melbourne, Liam, only because I think last week they showed something. That was a good win by them. That was a very good win by them. But so it was a good win by you guys. It's going to be within a goal, I reckon. That's how close I reckon it's going to be.
That's fair. I just got to shout out our debutant this week, Campbell Gray, coming in for his first game. He came across in the mid-season draft last year, played as a forward. He's transitioned into a defender. I've seen some of his footage at VFL, and he's been killing it. He really deserves this opportunity. Super excited to see what he does because, certain players have a new bedtime. But that's a great opportunity for him. I hope he does well. And, just wanted to shout him out.
All right, nice. I like it. I like when you mention a new debutant, especially you guys, man. You must look forward to debutant.
Fifth one for the season, so fun stuff. All right, should we move on to the next game? This is the big game. It always is. The big Anzac Day game, Collingwood versus Essendon. I think we all kind of will be tipping the same for this one. It's hard to see Collingwood losing. They're in great form. And
Essendon by 4 goals.
I'm still not convinced by Essendon.
Essendon by 4 goals.
I'm going to go Collingwood only because Essendon are absolute rubbish, man. I'm telling you, they just play. If you look at their percentage again, this is like 3 years in a row. They're at about that 90% again.
Yeah,
they just cannot score, these guys, and they get scored heavily on. So it's Collingwood.
Manny, you tipping your own team for sure?
Yeah, the Mighty Pies, mate. The Mighty Pies.
Fair play. All right, moving on to the other Anzac Day game. I actually bid at this one. It's cool. Fremantle versus Adelaide. But at the moment, I don't have a lot of trust for Fremantle. I'm a big believer in Adelaide, so I'm going to tip them.
Yeah, it's in Fremantle, isn't it? Far out.
Dockers for me.
Yeah, Fremantle bounce back game, I think.
Yeah.
I agree that Fremantle they weren't that bad, and
I don't think I don't know. I think
Adelaide are playing well. I'm not gonna. I wouldn't be surprised.
But I don't think they're that good either.
It's a 50-50 game because it's played over here. I think if it was played in Adelaide, you tip Adelaide with confidence.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. That if this was in Adelaide, I'd definitely pick Adelaide. Yeah. All right. I think we're all done. That's next one.
Boom. Well, I think this is Saturday. Yeah. Saturday games now. So St Kilda versus Brisbane. It's at Marvel. Don't see Brisbane losing 2 in a row, especially not to the Saints. Brisbane for me.
Yeah, Brisbane for me. Saints are shit house too.
Yeah, I agree.
But you know what? The Saints are that sort of a team.
That would win.
The Saints are just that crummy team. I'm going to go with the Saints.
They will, hey. I hate St Kilda, man. They do it all the time.
Saints.
Yep. Is everyone going for, what are you saying?
Where are you keeping Dodo?
Lions.
Yeah.
Saints.
All right, he's going the Saints.
All
right, what about the next one?
Next game is back in Adelaide this time. Port Adelaide versus North Melbourne. Port are looking a little bit better, but North are looking pretty terrible. So it's pretty easy to tip Port in this one.
Yeah, Port Adelaide.
Yeah, Port should win
North
this.
Melbourne.
North Melbourne have got a lot. I think Mark's tips are going to be fucked this week, just quietly.
That's all right, mate. So he's somehow ahead, mate.
He's way ahead. I'll show you in a sec.
Nah, North Melbourne, they'll smash them.
They'll
smash them.
Then the last game on Saturday is the Giants versus the Bulldogs. It's actually a pretty good matchup. Bulldogs have been they've been okay. Bontempelli crushed it coming back. He is one of my favourite players to watch from another.
Oh, how good was he to come back, mate? Jesus.
Yeah. The Giants.
GWS for me.
Yeah, I'll stick with you. I'll go to Giants.
Yeah, I'm going Giants. And you?
Draw.
Draw. That's 5. That's 5 points if you get that one there. Well done. Next one.
Sunday, Gold Coast Suns versus Sydney Swans. Gold Coast didn't have their best week last week, but Sydney aren't playing spectacular either. Same thing. If it was maybe in Sydney, I'd be inclined to tip them, but it's back at Gold Coast and they play well there. So I'll give it to them. I'll back the Suns.
Yeah,
Gold Coast. Gold Coast.
Swans by 45.
Who?
Swans by 45.
Okay, now you got opposite. All right. Oh, the big game. The big game.
It is the big game, mate.
Anyway, this game doesn't matter if you win or lose because it really doesn't matter, does it, Dodo Internet?
Nah, it doesn't matter. Carlton by 69
matter.
points.
No game really matters. It doesn't really matter if you win or lose or what you're doing. Yeah.
Carlton by 69 points. Kerno to kick 8.
69. I like it. Very good. Very nice.
This one's 69.
Kerno to get his Coleman charge on the way. He'll kick 8.
I reckon he's going to have a good day. Slowly. I think in the last few weeks, man, he's slowly starting to get his mojo back, man. So, and the big Harry will be back. So, I'm going Carlton for sure.
Look, this is definitely the game that's going to change things for Carlton if they do beat Geelong. But I can't see it happening. Geelong. I think Geelong by 2 goals.
Liam?
This is another tough one. I want to help you guys out and tip Carlton, but I do think Geelong's better here. I'm going to stick with Geelong.
That's right. We don't need your help anyway.
No, we don't need your help. We just need the help of our players.
I can't decide, but
I think Liam just went against us because we went against him. Like he's just paying.
Mate, where am I? I'm like dead last in this tipping.
I think I'm dead last to tell you the truth, but we'll have a look in a sec. Last game.
Last game, Hawthorn versus West Coast. Same thing. Sorry, West Coast, you're not doing great. Hawkers water win.
Easy.
Yeah, Hawthorn.
West Coast. Easy.
Yeah, 100%, man. They will absolutely smash them. They will smash them. Very good. We got time for one more guest. He comes on every week and we'll say hi to him. Another fucking scumbag. Anyway, here he is. Ultimate greatness. What's going on with the Collingwood people, mate? All over the place, mate. How are you, Ultimate?
Yeah, doing that yourself.
Good, mate. Good, mate. What have you got to say, mate, about those mighty pies, man, up on top of the ladder? You're always a bit more conservative about your side, I notice, when you talk about them. You never give away too much, I notice.
I look at it how I see it, or see it how I look at it, whichever way that works better.
Do you hit the word on the nail, do you?
Word on the nail.
Yeah, pretty much. That's about me pretty well. But yeah, there's another one for you. Obviously Collingwood are tracking great. We're sitting, I think, what is it, like 5-1, 4-1, whatever it is. So can't really complain. And
5-1, mate. 5-1.
Yeah, there you go, 5-1. So, and not really. It's kind of interesting because I'm not worried about Essendon, but then at the same time, I then become worried because I'm not worried. If that makes any sense. Which is ironic given the intro, but I don't know. What are people's thoughts? Like, do we think that Essendon are gonna do like an upset, or like what's the go?
I believe because it's an Anzac Day game, right? So they always bring out the best of both sides. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just one of those things, man. It's just one of those things. Look, what I've seen out of Essendon, they have not looked good at all in the last 3 or 4 weeks. I mean, they've had a couple of wins. You know what I mean? They just beat now they've lost what's his name?
Draper for the year.
Draper.
Yeah, Draper. Yeah.
And you look like you are just running on top of the how do you say it, on top of the water? What is it when you're just
walking on water?
Whatever you do, man, you're cruising along at the moment. You're getting players back. I mean, you've lost your captain. I don't think it's going to make a big difference to them, you know. So you're getting what's his name back this week? Yeah, bloody what's his name?
Houston.
Yeah,
I think we've got a couple
Houston.
back. Yeah, we've got Houston, and I think we've got another one. That's
Have you got
scares me
Schultz
right
back?
Do you get
now.
Schultz
Schultz is next week.
Schultz next
is
week, yeah.
I think it's next week.
Yeah. So do you
Pretty
go?
sure
Are
it's
you
not
going to the game?
No, so I didn't get tickets in the end. I did have a mate of mine that, you know, he did claim he had an extra for me, and then messaged him the other day. He said, "No, he found somebody else." So bit salty on that, but I do normally go.
Scumbag.
Yeah.
What a scumbag, mate.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty hard to get, so I'm not really too surprised. But I do go most years and stuff, but because of I don't want to go into it too much because I don't want to be concerning people too much. But I had a pretty poor start to the year health wise, so my focus was more on that than getting football tickets. So this year's been a bit of a this year's been a bit of a, if there's mistakes to be made, well, I've got a good reason for it.
No, I agree, man. As long as you're doing okay, mate, that's the main thing.
Of course.
Hey, tell me something. Who do you hate the most? What team do you hate the most?
What team?
Collingwood.
No. I mean, there was times last year I could have had that answer. But I think obviously it's a bit of tough love, but yeah. I mean, I think I voiced it, I think the first time, just there was a few guys that I thought that deserved games, or a few of the kids that deserved games, but
the question is what team do you hate the most, mate? Like, is it Carlton? Is it Richmond?
That's the thing. That's the thing. I don't really, because I think ever since I've been doing because I've been doing like YouTube for over a decade now, but I reckon I've been a footy content creator for 3 years, 4 years, and I feel like every time, I think I mentioned it as well too, that I've been really heavy into the draft for a while now, and it's more, I think it's more to, like, when you see teams and stuff, that's why I've said multiple times I want to become a list manager. So I just feel like that'd be the most like fun job of all time, because you're looking at contracts, you're looking at, all these puzzle pieces coming together, and like each club's gonna have their own like puzzle to solve and stuff. And obviously with Collingwood at the moment, our puzzles pretty good at the moment, where you got others that are not, just feel like there's a whole bunch of pieces everywhere. But I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. There's not much really love or hate that goes around the competition. It's just, I mean, I do have Asperger's.
So do you
myself,
love the Blues? Do you love the Baggers?
There are certainly some players I do like.
You're too nice, mate.
Yeah.
Right.
No, there are definitely some players that I've definitely liked. I mean, there's been like supported over the years that I've like copped it over from my Twitter and stuff, and that's not great. But then again, it's like I'm sure it's, I'm sure every club has them sort of thing. So I don't know. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I want to give you guys an answer, but I just feel like I'm doing a shit job at it.
No, you're doing a really shit job there. But I'm going to go around the panel here. Liam, who do you hate the most?
Collingwood first, then honestly, Geelong second. I hate those guys.
Wow.
Man.
All right, give me 1 and 2s. I like that. 1 and 2s. Yeah, I like that. Manny?
Geelong and Hawthorn.
Is that who you hate the most?
Yeah.
Far out.
Because you got to remember something, Rocco. I'm basing it over the last 20 years. One of the two teams that have. I mean, look, for Seba, listen, I'll get you a dummy or a lollipop or something so you can suck on. But I base it on the last 20 years. It's been Geelong and Hawthorn that have really been the teams that, we hate, losing by. I mean, Carlton Carlton's always going to be there, but to be fair, Carlton hasn't really been there as a threat to us over the last 20 years. But I'm being honest.
Right.
Can I say something? To really answer that question, don't you need to actually attend games?
Oh, is that your best excuse?
Nah, I think Gummins has got it right in the comments. It's a straightforward question. And yeah, it's now going for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
right.
He's gone on a tangent.
It's just
easy for me. Like, it's a straightforward question here. It's easy, man. Collingwood first by far, because you got plastic supporters like Magpie Manny, so definitely Collingwood. And Essendon second. They're just a bunch of drug addict scumbags, so they can get stuff too. And then after that, it really becomes personal with individuals that make me hate their team, Like you get one person that makes you hate the team all of a sudden, You get this one person. So yeah. And you, Seba, I know you're an Essendon first, aren't you?
Well, no. I can't stand Collingwood. I hate the guy that's just above me, and I hate Essendon.
Yeah.
I'm just above you, bit rude.
That's it.
Is that you telling me you don't like me? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm joking, Manny.
No, we like you, Manny. As I said, you're like a puppy dog. You amuse us. We play with you and then put you in the pen.
Can I also lift my leg and piss on you?
Oh shit, that is fucking wild.
All right.
Go.
I was just going to say, thanks, Ultimate, man. I've got a couple more guests I want to put on, but thanks for that, man. I'd like to say good luck to you. I don't think you need it this week. It is one of the big games of the year. It's probably the biggest home and away game of the year. And it's probably one that outside of it's probably the biggest cause, the Diggers and then the Kids on Good Friday, I think and then you got the Cancel. Yeah, they're massive. They're massive, man. So it's always good.
Yeah.
I've actually been to a dawn service, so it's pretty moving, but I'm not getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning anymore, unfortunately. I'm not doing it unless I've got to go to work.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that.
Yeah. Hey, thanks. Hey, give what's your channel, man? So everyone, I think I've subscribed already. What are we doing?
Yeah, so the name's the channel name. I'm looking to maybe come back soon. Just been having some PC issues, which is why I don't have the green screen. Surprised you guys didn't notice actually. But yeah, I don't have the green screen on because the
everyone
PC is just
liked
not
the big magpie behind you last time. That was everyone liked it. Yeah, so so everyone's good on there.
Yeah, so as I said, I had some PC issues, had some sort of health issues at the start of the year, which I actually had last year and didn't realize till early this year. So starting to get it all back on track, and hopefully if I just wipe my PC clean with the new hard drive and stuff, we should be ready to go. But it shouldn't be too far away. Hopefully in a couple of weeks. And then just got to get everything together.
Nice.
Shouldn't be far.
Nice, man. Mate, I appreciate you jumping on, man. Appreciate supporting the channel, man. You have a good one, and we'll speak next week.
Yep, we'll do.
Ultimate Warrior.
Mate.
All right, so.
All right, we got one more person before we sign off. Let's have a look at this.
Tell me a talker.
Good day, fellas.
It's Og Rat.
Og
Does
Rat.
anyone know who that is?
The OG Rat.
OG Rat.
Way. Oh, look at him! No
Look at the
way.
little one. Look at him.
Look at Jacob. Oh,
How's it going, fellas?
How are you, brother? How's things, mate? Who's the little one there?
Yeah, this is my little one, three weeks old.
Wow.
Yeah. I was just tuning into the show and had her on me, and I thought, Manny needs a bit of love, so I'm going to jump in. And
are you another Collingwood supporter? What is going on, mate?
Rocco, I work with Jacob.
Oh, do ya? Oh, there you go.
Hey, it's OG. OG, get it right.
Shut up, Malakas.
Fucking amateur.
OGC.
They used
No,
both
I
work
actually-
together. Unreal.
I had a bit of inside information on the Sebastiani boys, actually. For all
All right, yeah, we want to hear this, guys.
yeah. So I thought it'd be interesting, since you guys have got Geelong coming up, that they're actually closeted Geelong supporters. I don't know
I
if
know
you
they are.
know. You do know that.
Yeah. Their grandfather was a Geelong
It
supporter.
runs
I was-
deep, mate. It runs deep in the blood.
It does. They always say that they got this soft spot for Geelong, but trust me, bro, when they're at the game, there is no love there. Have you been to a game with? Have you been to a game with these guys?
I'm too scared, honestly.
You won't. I'm telling you, it's another experience, man. It is.
I've only seen videos and stuff like that. Couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Oh man, they just and to get like stereo with both of them next to you. Like I've been going like 2 years now. It is just another experience, man. And they go off, mate. And I'm telling you, at Marvel where we sit, the players can hear you. Yeah. Don't you worry, the players can hear you. Yeah. And what I've heard, I reckon he's put a couple of them into a hospital just for mental illness. The things they say.
He had a word to Mackay, I think. He must have.
He must have.
Wait, I missed it. What happened?
Yeah, I reckon do we know that you're a Geelong, bit of a closet Geelong support? And I said,
I do have a big soft spot for the Cats, yes, because of my number. I do have a big soft spot for the Cats.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, there you go.
And
the truth finally comes out.
And you work with both of them, I want to know a bit about how they are at work. Are they what they look like at camera, or are they a bit different? What do you reckon?
You know what? You'd think they'd be all professional, but these boys, they don't change for anyone. They're exactly the same. What you see is what you get with these boys. So, I should go.
He's lost it.
He's lost it. No. Is it a she? It's a she, isn't it? And what's her name?
Her name's Mia.
Mia.
And she's already got her Magpies membership, mate.
Not even Manny's got one. Not even
boy. He's got one and Manny hasn't got one. That doesn't even belong to you, Manny. You're a fraud. Hey, what do you think about frauds like Manny, really? They make you look bad, don't they?
Look, yeah. Look, a little bit. Yeah, you know what, though? I'm surprised Mark's not on here tonight.
Mate, he can't get that. His internet is as good as Essendon, mate. I reckon he's got a
They're failing at the moment. They're failing.
Yeah, they are.
They are failing. Miserable.
No, that's good. What have you got to say? What have you got some dirt on Rat over there, Dodo? What are you doing, mate? Like, don't let him get away with this.
I'm squeaky clean, mate.
Jacob's a gangster. I love Jacob. I have no bad words to say about Jacob. Other than he goes for fucking Tottenham.
Oh, fucking Tottenham.
Mate. Tottenham, oh boy.
Other than that, Jacob's pretty good. No bad words to say about Jacob.
Actually, you got a couple of Collingwood supporters there, haven't you, at your work?
Yeah, my brother.
Oh, that's your brother. I knew because I've met him. He's come to the live show.
That's right. Yes, I do remember that. Yeah.
He come to the live show. So so you got Collingwood and Carlton. Oh, that must be a good week when Collingwood are playing Carlton during the week.
Yeah, we don't say anything to them. We don't say anything to them, and they don't say anything back. We're all on the same page.
We're all.
I love it.
Hey, they're not delusional. These boys, not at all.
No, they're not. They're definitely not delusional. Especially, they're definitely. To tell you the truth, thanks, Osmay. You're another one gifting another TJP membership. Yeah, no, especially we could. To tell you the truth, we could beat Geelong, and they're still not going to be happy this week. I'll tell you right now.
Might as well find something to crack it about.
I love it, man. They're actually the most reasonable people I've met, man. You gotta, especially when you've seen nothing for like 30 years. These guys, like, pretty much, Seb has been a loser all his life. So yeah.
But potentially, I'm gonna watch a Collingwood grand final win.
No, you are. My daughter's gonna watch one before you, mate.
Love it.
Absolutely beautiful.
I love
Oh,
it,
boys,
man.
I'm going to head off. I think she's going to wake up.
Hey, thanks for jumping on, mate.
Okay.
Bye, Mia, man. We'll speak soon.
COG.
Boom.
Yeah, she woke up. That's it. She lost it.
Yeah, she
Nah.
lost it, mate. That's sick, man.
Yeah,
And
it
when I
wasn't
first
gonna
seen it, like he didn't have a top on, I'm going, I'm not going to put this bike. And then I go, oh, he's got a baby on him. It's got to be pretty easy, mate, because now I don't trust anyone anymore.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Oh boy.
All right.
Yeah, he's confessed him
Nah,
to being a
Jacob's good.
cat man. Nah, we all knew that they've got a soft spot because of the grandfather for Geelong. But
Yeah,
trust me, man.
I'm not shy. I'm not shy about that soft spot either. I've said it a million. I think I've said it on here before. I'm not shy about it either. You got to remember, I grew up watching us be shit and sitting there with my nonno and watching the Cats with him. So, you know what I mean?
That was good, man. That was good to get him on, mate. Seems like a good bloke.
Yeah, he's good.
But that's good. All right. It's just been a good show, man. It's been a good show. I've enjoyed tonight. A lot of chat. Thanks for Dodo. What's that? Which one?
What is happening, mate?
Enzo, he commented Mia had more to say
Yeah.
than Mark.
Yeah, it's a good one, mate. It's a good one. Whoa.
That's
True.
That is comment of the show.
Comment of the show, mate.
I
Hit the
love
word
it.
on the head.
I
Hit the
love it,
word on the
man.
head.
Whoa.
Yeah, no,
And he's
that's
got his
it.
own one too. Word on the head.
Put the
We
word
all
on
get
the
wrong, mate.
word on the nail, mate. It's the word on the nail. It's the word on the nail. Poor Mark, he sent me a message going, he doesn't know what's going on. But seriously, before the show, his internet was perfect. But as soon as you
He
push
actually
live,
he was fine, mate. He looked so good as well. Like the camera was
He must
wicked.
have
I don't know
like.
what happened.
He must have like. There's a thing that you get with like internet. He must have like packet loss or something. Like there's got to be something wrong there.
it's really Mia made more sense than Mark.
Oh, boy.
Me is now a cult figure of Forever
He's
Rivals.
gonna be a cult figure, man. I'm telling you.
He's a cult figure of Forever Rivals, bro.
Can we get Mia on next week to like preview next week's game? What do you reckon?
Preview the Carlton Adelaide game after we lose.
No,
How's
I wanted
Carlton
to
gonna
preview.
go? Ah.
All right. No, it's been good. Thanks, everyone, for joining, mate. The chat's been absolutely great tonight. Thanks for Dodo for filling in again for week 2 again.
My pleasure.
Week
pleasure.
2.
He likes the limelight. He likes the limelight.
Thanks
I
to
do.
Black and White.
I do.
Just want to say that Ginnivan doesn't know whether he's going to be playing next week. So
Well, he didn't play last week, did he?
no,
Which
so
one?
we'll be catching up. We'll be catching up with Ginnivan.
This is an Ange Christou match worn.
Oh, that's nice, man.
Oh,
Ange
I'm
Christou match one. It's still got the mud on there.
Yeah.
Nah, that's the Peter Dean one I've got from 93.
Oh, we got
It's
the
still
Peter
got the mud
Dean.
on it.
Ange Christou, he played for Carlton, didn't he?
No, he
Yeah.
played for Essendon.
Yeah, Premiership.
Actually, thanks, Matula. You reminded
I
me.
don't want to see the.
Right.
You reminded me the tipping. Rocco is falling behind.
Did you,
this man?
Hey, Rocco, did you correct the difference last week between myself and Mark?
100% I tipped. So this week, last week, you were 2 behind, and you tipped. Manny tipped only 4 last week. Mark tipped 6, and Liam tipped 5, and I only tipped 4. So it was a bad week last week.
I had a shocker as well. I only tipped 3.
That's good.
What are you talking about, man? You've gone into 3rd spot, Liam. What are you complaining about, mate?
It's good, mate. I've been stinking it up in the tipping.
No, I'm telling you, last week was a disaster, man. And as I said, actually, Mark did all right to get 6. because everyone else was going absolute wonderful. Thanks, Matula. Look at this. Matula's just there in the background. She's like a good Greek, lady where she's just keeping an eye on everything and making sure everything goes all right. She's going to make
very nice lady. Very nice lady.
No, we
She's
love
the
Matula.
wog mum in the chat. She's the wog mum in the chat.
Yeah, she's great.
Right.
Oh, here we go. Great going to school tomorrow. Yeah. So thanks, Liam. Thanks everyone for joining. And Ultimate Greatness, thanks for coming in, Gunners. Thanks, Gunner. What are you talking about, Manny Rocker? That was just me saying that. I love his picture. Look at that, missing.
Mate, he's the hero as Gunners, mate.
The chat's quick on it, man.
They're good, man. They're too good for us.
Except that one that came up where you got stooged with it earlier in the show.
Because you know why? Because when the picture comes up, listen to me. You know when the not only it's small, it's got the YouTube red thing in front of it to tell you it's from YouTube, and it covers the bottom of it. So I'm looking at it.
Okay.
And then when I put it up, I look.
When I big
I thought Manny got really excited when he saw it. But anyway, so every week they try. That's what the show's about. We have a bit of a laugh, so it's all good, man. So the Bella Sausage, mate. Sausage season almost coming up, mate.
That's it.
All right. Hey, thanks everyone for coming, mate. It's been great. All I could say, I know Manny doesn't think so, but
good luck to your teams. Good luck to your teams.
It's a big week, mate. It's a big week, and I'm looking forward to
Carlton. Big week for Carlton. If they beat Geelong, it could be the turning point. Yes, I agree. Good luck to the Tigers. But
Manny, it's too late, man. I'm already too late, mate. I'm already clipping it up, man.
Hot pies.
It's too late, mate. The clip's going to go. I reckon the clip's going to get 10,000 views, that clip.
Oh, I hope so. What do you mean? That's what it's about. It's about
you're going to go viral, mate. That's cool.
It's cool.
That's right.
Anyway, go the mighty Blues.
Hot pie.
Go the baggers.
Go the baggers.
Oh, so blurry.